Can you see it?
Yep, we can see that.
All right, perfect. So let's get started. I'm going to hide myself here. And let's get started. So today we're going to talk about understanding your ads funnel from testing to optimizing to scaling your ads. And we're going to talk a lot about the different funnel metrics that you need to be aware of. We're going to talk about how to optimize those metrics, or first understanding those metrics, because I see a lot of people get inside of Facebook ads and don't understand how what a good metric is and how well or how bad it is affecting their ads. So this is not a sales pitch webinar. This is a webinar where we're going to talk a lot about very important stuff regarding Facebook ads and stuff that you should really know in order to be successful buying ads on Facebook. So although Scalify will help you with the process, it's totally optional if you get Scalify or not by the end, but please stick around to get the best value out of this webinar. And it's a good thing if you have something to take notes next to you, because we're going to tackle a lot of numbers and a lot of metrics. So before we get started here, let me introduce myself to the people who don't know me yet. I'm Yasser. I'm a software engineer, founder of Scalify, and I've been in the internet marketing. I've been on internet marketing since 2011, so almost a decade now. Where I've launched several software since 2011, both in the internet marketing niche as well as in the 3D animation and 3D modeling niche. That was my passion back then, I would say. So since 2011, I've launched several products. My first Facebook ads product actually dates back to 2013, where I had developed a product that would help Facebook advertisers better target their ads on Facebook back in 2013. And that product had its fair share of success, where we had reached the top of the ClickBank marketplace. For those of you who don't know what ClickBank is, back then it was the marketplace to be, where to reach affiliates and to sell products as a vendor. And I remember we reached the top 4 of the ClickBank marketplace with the Facebook product back then, which was amazing. Since then, I've focused mainly on the internet marketing niche, and we've released several products since then. And in 2017, I launched several e-commerce stores on Shopify with the rise of Shopify and dropshipping, and several stores I still manage right now. And then in 2018, there was Scalify. The idea of Scalify came from e-commerce, and we were using Facebook ads really heavily to drive traffic to our stores. And I started noticing so many things that need to be automated, that need to be made better. So many aspects of the advertising workflow that need to be used to take time, that need to be cut down. So let's talk a little bit about the history of Scalify. And as I said, it started in 2018, and it started as a Shopify app. I noticed someone on the chat said that they noticed that it's a Shopify app, so they thought it's only on Shopify, but now it's not the case anymore. It's true, it was only for Shopify since 2018 until we released this new version in 2020. The first version of Scalify was only focused on scaling, so helping e-commerce merchants grow their business with paid ads. And we were mainly focused on scaling. So most of our users were already seeing good results with Facebook, and they wanted to take their Facebook ads to the next level. That's why they would install Scalify in order to help them scale what they already have. And since then, we kept getting a lot of feature requests, a lot of user feedback. Some users did not understand the app because they were beginners, so they haven't reached the stage where they would need Scalify yet. So since then, we've been hard at work since 2018, late 2018 until late 2020, where we released the new version of Scalify that you have access to right now via this PitchGround deal. So we're very proud to say that we have already at this point helped over 10,000 users to scale their business with ads. So this new version was launched in late 2020, and the goal of this new version is to basically make all the advertising workflow from A to Z a lot easier, a lot more effective, and not just focusing on the scaling part, but also on the testing phase and the optimization. And we've added tons of features to make this the best app out there, the best solution for Facebook advertisers out there. These are some of the reviews we have on the Shopify listing that you can check out yourself. You can go to the Shopify App Store where you can see the reviews there. So before we get started, let's talk a little bit about the previous webinar for the people who did not attend the previous webinar, because we talked a lot of great subjects, and I really highly recommend that you access the previous webinar and go through it, because it's packed with value, and it will also help you get the most out of Scalify, understand what the app is capable of. But let's do a quick recap in here. So we tackled the question of the ads, Facebook ads even still work, because a lot of people ask if Facebook ads are actually still working with all the hype that's going around, what Apple, the clash between Apple and Facebook, the iOS 14 update, the ad accounts being banned for no reason, the expense, how expensive it has become to run Facebook ads. So we answered all these questions in the last webinar. We also gave some examples from our backend where we showed that some of our users are actually currently spending 6 to 7 figures every month. So that's the ad spend. That's not the return ad spend, it's the ad spend. So the return is easily over 7 figures for most of these guys. And we talked about the advertising funnel, and the advertising funnel, like it was a huge part of the webinar, the previous webinar, where we talked about the advertising funnel from top to bottom. Top, where the audience is still cold and people don't know you yet. So how you take the cold audience and you push it down the funnel in order to make turn them into leads, into customers. So we talked about how Scalify helps you target those cold customers, those cold audiences, and how it helps you get them pushed through the funnel, how to turn them into warm people, warm audience, and then into a hot audience when they go to your website, and then they actually make a purchase. So that was the funnel. And we also talked about how Scalify works, how it connects to your website and to your Facebook advertising in order to make a better workflow, in order to provide you with a faster advertising workflow, a smart advertising automation, easier ad scaling, accurate performance tracking, and product catalogs, and so on. We talked about the Scalify modules. We have 4 modules: launch, analyze, automate, and scale. Each module helps you with one of the advertising phases that you do every day. So a launch helps you split test and launch different ad creatives to different audiences and test which one performs better. Analyze allows you to analyze your performance, your key performance metrics, your KPIs, and see how your ads are performing and where you're not getting like good results in order to improve that. Automate takes all the hassle off of your hands and allows you to automatically scale your ads with the automation strategies that are ready made for you. You can scale your ads. You can prevent budget loss by turning off ads that are not performing well, or by decreasing their ad budget. And you can also revive ads that have shown good potential, good results after they were paused. And then there was the scale module, and the scale module allows you to easily scale to new lookalike audiences in bulk and be really aggressive with your scaling once you see good results and you have stabilized your performance. We also went through a case study where we jumped inside the account of one of our users and saw how they use Scalify in order to pull this kind of results. We see that they spent $53,000 and they got $182,000 in return, which is over 3 ROAS, return on ad spend, which is a good, pretty good figure for an e-commerce store selling physical products. All right, so let's talk about today's content. And again, if you haven't been in the last webinar, or you haven't watched the replay, I highly encourage you to do so. And if you don't have access to it, I believe you can simply reach out to the PitchGround team, and they will be more than happy to give you access. All right, so today's content, let's go through the content of today. So we're going to answer the question of how much do Facebook ads cost? This is a very recurring question, and we're gonna try to give like the best answer to this question, because whenever we ask this question, the answer is like very blurry. It's not very exact. It doesn't give you real insights on how you should think about the cost of the ads, especially if you are new to Facebook ads and don't know like how it functions yet. So we're going to answer that, and we're going to go deep into the funnels KPIs. KPIs are the key performance indicators. Those are the metrics that make the most impact on your ad performance. And if you understand your KPIs, you will be able to influence your numbers. You'll be able to know what you need to improve in order to see a drastic change in your performance. I'll leave it there, and we'll go into it in a few minutes. So the metric simulation. The metric simulation is a Google Sheet that I made that will show you a whole funnel with its metrics, and we will go into detail and see some examples of ad performance that we can work on. There's some metrics that don't look so good, and with a simple tweak, we can quickly flip a losing ad to one that is that turns profit. So that's the metric simulation, and then we're going to talk about the testing phase. So how you launch ads in the testing phase and what you should be looking for. We're going to introduce a completely new Scalify feature. So users who have already access to Scalify don't have this feature yet. So it's going to be an exclusive feature reveal on this webinar. And we're going to demonstrate that from the developer area of our app. So it's not a feature that users have access to yet, but it will be accessible in the upcoming week or so, in a few days. Optimizing and stabilizing ad performance. Now, this is a very important part, because this is where a lot of advertisers fail. And what happens is that some or most of advertisers, whenever they see some good results in the testing phase, what they want to do and what they try to do is go ahead and start scaling directly. And that's where they fail, because their performance drops like right away, and they don't know what went wrong. And that's exactly why we need to go over optimizing and stabilizing ad performance, because this phase is the phase that allows you to lay the ground for positive and profitable scaling. And then we'll talk about the scaling phase and different types of scaling that we can do on Facebook ads, vertical and horizontal scaling, and how Scalify can help you with that. And of course, every part of the webinar, we'll try to demonstrate as much as possible how Scalify helps you with each phase of your advertising. And then we'll do a quick recap, and then we'll move to your questions and answers. So let's get started. How much do Facebook ads cost? Now, this is a question we hear a lot. I personally receive this question a lot. And whenever you ask this question to someone, the answer goes something like this. It depends on your budget. I mean, like you can spend $5 per day, or you can spend up to like $10,000 per day. It's really up to you and your budget. Well, this answer is correct, but it does not give enough detail. And part of the problem here is the question itself, because the person who asks the question does not give more detail about what they want to do with the ads. What's their objective? Do they want purchases? Do they want to collect leads? Do they want more engagement on their posts? So there's that. And there's also the fact that the answer does not give more detail about how Facebook ads work, how they bill you, how everything is calculated inside of the advertising process. So in order to understand the cost of Facebook ads, we need to understand how Facebook actually bills you. So how does Facebook bill you? Like, how does Facebook decide how much you need to pay for your ads, right? There are different ways Facebook is able to bill you, and mainly 3 ways, actually. Impressions. So you are going to pay a small amount of money every time someone sees your ad. There is clicks. You can be like charged for clicks. That is every time someone clicks on your ad. And then there is video through play. You pay for video views essentially. But impressions is the dominant one because it's the way you are built on all the conversion objectives, like 100%, all of them. The clicks and the video through play options are only available for if you are running traffic or if you are running video ads. All right, so even if you are running traffic campaigns or you are running video ads campaigns, you can still be billed by impressions. So those options are there, but very rarely, like 99% of the time, you are going to be billed by impressions. All right, so we're going to ditch the clicks and video through play on this webinar and focus on the most important one, and that is being billed by impressions. So how does this work? So impressions are calculated by the CPM, the cost per 1,000 impression. All right, so every time 1,000 people see your ad, Facebook will give you a price to pay for those 1,000 people who saw your ad. Now, how many clicks you get or how many purchases you get is up to you to improve, right? So Facebook just it sells you the impressions, and it's up to you to convert those impressions into actual customers, actual leads, etc. So the CPM is affected by two main things. There is the competition over the audience that you are targeting. So not all audiences are created equal. Some audiences will have higher CPM than other audiences, and the reason being is that advertisers will go over some audiences more than others. So for example, Facebook knows people who purchase, who have the purchase behavior and who are ready to purchase your product. And when advertisers advertise and say, I want to advertise for the conversions objective, and I want people who are going to purchase this product. This will tell Facebook that it needs to find people who are going to purchase. And most, as you can imagine, most advertisers, especially in e-commerce, are going to go to those audiences. So those audiences are going to have higher CPM than the audiences of traffic of video views, for example, because those other audiences are not going to bring you money as a return. It's just going to be video views or traffic. For example, when you run a traffic campaign, you're not really optimizing for getting sales or getting leads. You are looking for people who are just like, they are clicky, they click, but they are not necessarily going to complete any kind of action on your website. So if you go for the traffic objective, obviously your CPM is going to be much lower, right? So that's why you see when you run engagement ads, you see a lower CPM than when you run conversion ads. All right. So the ad relevance and quality of the ad also play a good role in the cost per impression. The ad relevance is how much your ad is a good match for for the audience that you are targeting. So, for example, if you have wrong targeting and people are not clicking your ad, then Facebook will it will punish your ad by giving it a higher CPM because you're not providing a good user experience for the Facebook user. However, if you have a good ad that's really enticing and that's targeted towards people who are really interested in that ad, then your CPM is going to be lower because Facebook is going to reward you for that ad because you're providing a good user experience for Facebook users. The quality of the ad also matters. For example, if you get people who click on your ad, but they go to your website and in a few seconds they go back to Facebook, like Facebook has different mechanisms that they can see that, and they understand that although people go to your ad, to your website, maybe your website is not well designed, maybe your copy, like you have typos on your copy, or maybe your website is too slow to load. So Facebook will see that and it will increase your CPM. So those are things that you need to keep in mind in order to improve and to get lower CPMs. Okay, so let's take an example. So the CPM, just to put you into the picture here, the range of the price of the CPM, I'm sorry, I'm just going to turn off my phone. The price of the CPM can go from around $1 all the way up to $50 and like even way higher than that in some cases. So let's say we have a $100 budget, all right? And we have some examples here. For example, we're targeting the USA, and the interest that we're targeting is people who are interested in pets. And we are using the traffic objective. And the objective is what you set in the campaign level. That's where you tell Facebook the kind of audience to go after. So we want traffic. So Facebook will find, again, people who are just going to click on our ad and go to our website, but not necessarily buy or anything. It's just traffic. So the CPM is going to be very low, around $3 per 1,000 impressions. So we're gonna get around $33,000 impressions for this first line here. But say we keep the same audience, but we switch the objective to conversions. Now, because there are a lot of people advertising to the audience of people who like pets, the CPM is going to be much higher, like basically around 4 times that. And it can go higher than that or lower than that, depending on the time, depending on the location, depending on the interest, etc. For that, you'll be getting around 8,000 impressions, and that's much lower than the 33,000 impressions that we got here. But even though we got way more impressions here, we may end up getting 0 sales here if we are sending them to an e-commerce store. We will be getting like almost 0, 1 or 2 sales, while here, even though the impressions are low, we'll be getting some sales, and we might be even profitable here and not profitable here. And the reason being is that Facebook knows what their audience's behavior is like, right? So if you tell Facebook, I want conversions optimized for purchase, then even though you get higher CPMs, you're most likely going to get purchases. Now, even say we keep the conversions objective here and we go to Mexico, for example, and target Mexico with the same interest, the same conversion objective. The CPM here might be low, and that's because we're targeting Mexico, and this market may have a very different behavior where maybe they prefer cash on delivery instead of cash upfront, like the US. The US market is very used to paying upfront and waiting for the delivery, and the Mexican market may be more used to cash on delivery. It's just an example. So you'll end up with a lower CPM than the US, obviously, because in the US there is way more competition over the conversion objective. So this is just an example to put you in perspective here. Now let's move to the metrics. And once we understand now that what the CPM is, we are going to move to the most important metrics of our funnel. And now we've already talked about the CPM because it's the first metric that's impacting your results. After the ad spend, of course, how much you spend, how much the CPM is, and that's where it all starts. Now we're going to move down and see the other metrics. Remember this funnel from the last webinar, where we have cold, warm, hot, and then customers, audiences. Let's take that and make it simpler and just break it into two sections. The first section up is the section of Facebook ads. That's where our audience is still on Facebook, Instagram, or Messenger. And the second part is your website. It can be Shopify, WooCommerce, or any regular website, WordPress as well, etc. So let's get started. So at the top of the funnel, we have our ad spend. So that's where we spend our money. And we start getting our metrics. So our CPM is going to be, say, for example, $10. The click-through rate is the second, for me, I think it's the second most important metric that you need to be aware of, because it's the number of people who are going to click on your ad, the percentage of people who are going to click on your ad compared to the impressions that you get. So if you have a 2% click-through rate and you have 1,000 impressions, that's 20 clicks, right? And the click-through rate is directly going to affect your cost per click. All right. So we'll go into more detail about this in a bit. Under the funnel, like the second section here, we have the average order value. Now, the average order value is how much you get paid for each order. On average, some people are going to pay less, some people are going to pay more, but on average, how much you make out of each order. And that's going to directly affect how much you can spend on ads and stay profitable, all right? The conversion rate is the conversion rate on your website or on your sales funnel. And the conversion rate determines how many people out of those who came to your website are actually going to buy. The cost per action is going to be, if you are selling e-commerce products, it's going to be the cost per purchase. So it's going to be how much you spent on ads divided by how many purchases you make. It can also be the cost per lead if you are collecting leads. And then we have the return on ad spend. We call it the ROAS. The return on ad spend is how much money you make for every dollar you have spent on ads. So if you spend $1 and you get $3 back, that's a ROAS of $3. Okay, so let's give some examples of the Facebook metrics, so the top of the funnel metrics. So we have, let's say we spend, amount spent on ads is $1,000. Say, for example, we spent $1,000. The CPM, the cost per 1,000 impressions, that's determined by Facebook. So let's say it's $5. The click-through rate is how many people have clicked on our ad compared to the amount of impressions that we get. So if we have a 2% click-through rate, that means we have 4,000 clicks because it's 2% of, let me just bring the calculator to, all right. So we have, in order to be able to determine the click-through rate, the cost per click, sorry, we have to see how many clicks we have, right? So in order to see how many clicks we have, we need to know how many impressions we have. So we have a CPM of $5. So we need to know how many $5 we have in $1,000 that we spent. So we're gonna have $1,000 divided by 5. That's going to be 200,000. So that's $5 per 1,000. So 200,000. So that's the amount of impressions that we have. So 2% of those people who saw our ad are going to click. So we need to multiply that by 2%. So that's 4,000 clicks right there. All right. So we have 4,000 clicks in here. And the way we calculate the cost per click is simply the amount spent divided by the amount of clicks. So we have 25 cents per click in this example. Okay. So website metrics example. So we go down the funnel and we will do a quick example. So we keep the amount spent and the number of clicks from the previous example. And let's say we have a conversion rate of 3% on our website. So if we get 100 people on our website and 3% conversion rate, it means that three people out of those 100 people have actually purchased. And the conversion rate is very important because you will see if you're able to increase your conversion rate, it's going to dramatically increase your profit and your ad performance. So the number of conversions is going to be 3% of the number of clicks. So it's 120. The cost per action is going to be how much we spent divided by 120. So it's going to be 8.3. And the average order value, let's say we sell a product of $30 and 50% or 33% of our visitors are going to buy 2 pieces instead of just buying 1. So that's going to be an average order value of 40. And I'm going to show you this in the simulation, and it's going to make more sense. So the revenue is going to be $4,800, and that is the average order value multiplied by the number of conversions we made, which makes up for a return on ad spend of 4.8. Which is a very good return on ad spend for e-commerce. All right, so then now we talked about the Facebook metrics and we talked about the website metrics. Now we will move on and talk about the business metrics, those metrics are not directly related to ads, but they are more related to your business and how you manage your business. Let's see. So the business metrics, so there is the customer lifetime value. So whenever you acquire a new customer from Facebook, you need to know that even though that customer has cost you an amount of money to make a purchase and you're profitable, you can still make more money out of that person via email marketing, using retention ads. So you can still sell again and easily sell again to that person because they're already familiar with your brand and your business. And we're going to see in a bit how we can run retention ads that will allow us to increase our customer lifetime value. And the customer lifetime value is what's actually going to make a big impact when it comes to how much money we can spend to acquire a new customer, because we can acquire a customer and be losing at the front end of the funnel, but when we get recurring customers, when we email them again and they come back and buy, when you see your numbers, you see that you're actually profitable, even though you were initially not profitable. Cost of goods sold is the how much it takes, how much you pay to actually deliver a product. It can be your supplier, how much you pay for your supplier. It can be your business expenses like salaries and rent, etc. It can be the manufacturing price. So the cost of goods sold is up to you to calculate depending on how much you spend, how much it's up to you to calculate to determine how much you spend for each unit you sold. And then there is the net profit, all right? So the net profit is you take the total of the lifetime value of your customers, and then you remove the cost of goods sold, and then you remove the amount you spent on ads to acquire those customers, and you are left with the net profit. All right. So let's move on, and let's talk a little bit about revenue versus profit. I'm sure a lot of you, if not all of you, have already seen these kind of screenshots on social media where people share their results on Shopify. And these are really good figures that we see here. For example, this person on the left made $11,000 today. This one $54,000 today, and this one made 6 figures this month. These are really good numbers, but what you need to know is that these numbers by no means reflect the total profit, how much profit these people made. Because I have a lot of friends who do drop shipping and who do e-commerce, and they usually like, I'm making 6 figures, I'm doing really good, etc. But when you dive deep into their business, you find that they're barely making profit. They're making little profit or just breaking even. Some of them are really even losing. So even though these metrics look good on those screenshots, you need to know how much the profit is, especially if it's your business. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the profit versus the revenue. So in this image here, we see that we have a cost for Facebook, a cost for the goods sold, and the profit. And the total here is the actual revenue, how much we made, right? So in this example here, we have a return on ad spend of 3, because the cost of goods sold, the amount we spend the revenue is 3 times the amount we spend on Facebook. So if we spend $1 on Facebook, we get $3. $1 for Facebook, $1 for the cost of goods sold, and $1 for the profit. So that's a typical figure for a physical e-commerce store, right? Now, the return on ad spend is 3 is good for physical stores, but if you are in the digital field, for example, and you are selling digital products, the cost of goods sold tends to be smaller, because you're not paying suppliers, you're only paying for research and for development. So the cost of goods sold can be smaller, and then the profit can be like it can move to the middle here. Instead of needing 3 to be profitable, you can have like 2 return on ad spend and still be profitable on digital products. All right. So before we move to the metrics simulator, I want you to keep this quote in mind. The business that can spend the most to acquire a customer wins. It means that your cost per acquisition from your ads can be low or high, depending on how much average order value you make of each conversion. If you are able to increase your maximum cost of goods sold, you'll be more competitive in advertising. And that's exactly what this quote says, and we will demonstrate that in the metrics simulator in a second. All right, so let's jump into Google Sheets. Okay, so in this sheet, I have put together all the most important metrics that you need to keep an eye on your business, and we will talk about the best metrics, or the metrics that you need to focus the most on in order to impact positively your return on ad spend. Yeah, like this. All right, so here you see that we have the Facebook metrics. So all of this is whatever is like all the data, all the metrics from Facebook. And of course, Facebook gives you much more data if you look in the ads manager, etc. But it all boils down to these, like the origin of all other metrics is really coming from here, except when you talk about metrics are on that are on Facebook itself, like how many videos have been seen, etc. But this is what you really need to focus on. This is the Facebook metrics. We also have the website metrics, and then we have the business metrics. And down here we have the net profit, and I just linked it to this cell up here so that I don't have to scroll each time to show you the difference. So this business has spent $5,000 on ads, with a CPM of $12. All right, so they got 400,000 impressions, and the ad spend. So this is how the impressions are calculated, and they got a little over 8,000 clicks, and the cost per click is determined by how many, the percentage of people who click, so the click-through rate. All right, so in here we can see that we have 3 yellow cells, and these cells are the cells that you can edit. It means that you can improve, like you can control these cells, and if you are able to control these cells, you will be able to drastically improve your performance. So let's see an example. For example, instead of 12 CPM, say you have done your split testing and you tested different audiences, and you found that some of audiences are actually giving you lower CPMs. So instead of keeping the CPM at 12, you have removed the audiences that have high CPM, and you kept the audiences that have a low CPM. So say you were able to decrease your CPM from $12 to $9. You can see that now, after like going through the funnel, with this change from 12 to 9 in CPM, we are now going from losing $750 to earning $661, and just by one tweak, and that is split testing different audiences. This is why testing different audiences is very important. Testing different interests, testing different lookalikes, and Scalify allows you to do this very, very easily, and we will see that in a demonstration in a bit. The number of impressions. So we already talked about this one. The second metric that you are able to control is the click-through rate. How many people, the percentage of people who click on your ads, and this can be done by testing different creatives, testing different ad copies, testing different images and videos, trying different hooks in the beginning of your video, trying different lines in the beginning of your ad copy to attract attention. So say, for example, you've been able to change the click-through rate from 2% to 5%. Check out the change in the net profit. With 3% change in the click-through rate, we went from minus 750, so we were losing $750, and now we're making $5,000. So you can see how much a little change can like really improve your conversions, like your performance. Say, for example, we combined these two, and you made your homework and you did a good split test, and you found the good audiences that were not very competitive and that have $9 CPM, and you were able to increase your click-through rate. Look at this. Now you're making $9,000. Now $9,000 is a return on ad spend of 4.8 out of $5,000. Yeah, so the revenue is 25,000 out of 5,000. I was all right, cool. Now let's put the CPM back to 12 and CTR click-through rate back to 3 or to 2. All right, so now we're losing again, and let's see what else we can improve in order to fix this and be profitable. Cost per click, 0.6. So the cost per click, this is how it's calculated. So the average order value can also be affected, like it can also be controlled in order to improve your performance. And the way we do that is by either increasing your average selling price, so the price of your product, and you can also start providing your prospects or your customers with bundles, what we call bundles. So instead of buying just one item, they can buy 2 items for a discount, for example. So say, for example, we have 20% of people who actually buy two units instead of just buying one. So that would be a quantity of 1.2 to add to 20%. And you can easily see that now by providing just that bundle, we're now actually profitable by $100. Not much, but at least we're not losing $700, right? So that's something to keep in mind there. Another very powerful one is the conversion rate of your website. So your website, your landing page copy, and how good it is at converting your prospects into customers is going to affect dramatically your conversions. Say, for example, 3%, you were able to increase it to 6%. Now you're making $3,000. All right. So these are all things that you need to keep in mind and that you need to keep an eye on. This sheet, I will share it with you, and you can just click here and make a copy. And you can you'll be able to change all the metrics to fit your exact use case in order to have an overview of what your metrics should look like in order to be profitable. Now, a very important part here. Sorry. A very important part here is the maximum allowed cost per acquisition. The maximum allowed cost per acquisition is directly related to your average order value. So how much you make off of each order. And if you're able to increase the average order value, your maximum allowed cost per conversion, cost per action is going to be increased. So you will be able to pay Facebook more for each conversion. And as a result, be more competitive. So say, for example, we have 1.5 quantity. You can see here that now the average order value is 44 instead of 23. And our maximum maximum allowed cost per acquisition is 32, meaning if we pay Facebook $32 for each purchase, we will be breaking even, all right? And the higher this number is, the average order value, the higher your maximum allowed cost per acquisition is, the more competitive you are again. So I'm saying this again because it's really important, and it's exactly what this quote is saying. The business that can spend the most to acquire a customer wins. All right, so let's get back and put the metrics back to where we are losing, and let's see what else we can improve here. So going down to the business metrics, in here we have the customer lifetime value. So when we acquire customers through Facebook, you should always be nurturing those customers and pushing new offers to them, either through email marketing or through retention ads. So say, for example, 20% of the people who buy from us come back again and buy again from us, right? So, and the way we do that again is through email and retention. So 1.2 here, and you can see that up here we are already profitable if we have 20% of the customers who are actually coming back to buy from us, all right? So we put that back, and another thing that you can affect here is the cost of goods sold per unit. So you should be able to negotiate with your supplier. You should be able to, like, it's basically negotiations and making your cost of goods sold lower. So for example, if we're able to make the cost of goods sold 9, now we are breaking even instead of losing $700. So if we pay $9 instead of 20, instead of 12, sorry, for each unit. All right, so if we go ahead and put all those improvements back, we're going to be getting some really good results, although they're not really going to be realistic because it's not always easy to control these metrics. But this is what you need to understand. You need to understand these metrics in order to be able to know what to improve in your funnel and how in order to be profitable. All right, so let's get back to our slides. So the ad testing phase. Now, in the ad testing, there are two things. There is the audience testing and there is the creative testing. So in the audience testing, you need to test different interests, different lookalike audiences if you already have data. different age groups, different genders, different locations, different placements. So here are some tips for audience testing. Always try to keep your audiences larger than 500,000. If you have small interests that you want to target, try to combine them in the same ad set, and in order to make a large audience, because the larger the audience it is, the better, or the more you allow Facebook to optimize better, because Facebook likes to have a lot of data to be to work with in order to optimize. So if you narrow the audience to small sizes, it gets hard, starts getting hard for Facebook to bring you good results. Separate broad, large audience interests into multiple ad sets. So you always want to separate large audiences, or every set of small audiences, into its own ad set in order to have more effective split testing. So when you see your metrics, you know the ad set or the interests that have brought good results. Only split test the options you think will make a difference. So some people will tell you that you need to test everything. And the truth is, the more you test, the more you have to spend. So I encourage you to use some common sense here and only test the variables that you think are going to make a difference. So for example, if it's a product that's for example for women, but you're not sure which age group in women is going to be more interested in the product, it's 20s or 30s, you can test those two audiences back to back, etc. So always use your common sense in order to spend less and get to the data faster. The ad creative testing, obviously you need to test different ad copies, you need to test images, videos, and also different call to actions. The call to action button, shop now, learn more, etc. Some tips. So for the creatives, there are three things that they need to do. The first thing is the creative should be thumb stopping. Means a thumb stopping creative is a creative that will stop the user from scrolling their feed. So when they see your ad, they don't scroll past it because your ad is going to grab their attention. And that's why the first few seconds are very crucial when creating your creative. The first few lines of your ad copy are also crucial. So because a lot of people just read the few first words, and if you're able to attract attention there, they will stick and be interested in interact with your creative. Don't use washed out colors. Like this one is an obvious one. So make it pop. Brand familiarity can also help. So if you are like of course, you need to be retargeting, and the warmer your audience, the better. All right. The second thing is that your ad creative should be engaging. All right. So it should invoke an experience, tell a story. All right. Create interest and turn it into desire. Identify and solve the problem. Relate. Right for your customer's state. For example, if you are retargeting, you're going to go like, I see you've visited my page, or you've seen this product but haven't purchased. Here's a discount or something. So always write specifically for the state of the customer or of the targeted person. It's always good to have urgency, scarcity, so use it moderately, but it always helps having limited time offers. Don't be afraid of long ad copies, always test both. So sharing a story or sharing your expertise, but always you want to test both types of copies to see which one is going to give you better click-through rate. And this is the third one, actually. This is a mistake. So 3, your ad creative should be converting. So you need to tell the prospect or the person, you need to tell them exactly what they need to do after watching, after reading your ad copy. Use social proof. So reuse existing posts that had good social proof. For example, if you already have good reactions on a post, don't go ahead and create the same post again with no reactions, because those reactions and comments add up to your social proof. And Scalify helps you reuse your existing audience posts easily, because most of the times when you create a new ad on Facebook, it will create a new post for you, and it's going to lose all the social proof it has. Be clear on what's coming. So be clear, tell them exactly what they need to expect after clicking your ad. And as I said before, test your call to action buttons. So that also helps. All right, so let's launch a test campaign inside of Scalify and see how it works. All right, so this is a demo account of Scalify, and in order to launch a new campaign, and for people who have never seen the UI yet, so these are the modules of Scalify. So launch, retarget, analyze, automate, and scale. In order to launch a split test, we go inside of launch. And in here, we find targeting, retargeting, retention, and scaling. So these are the types of audiences that we need to launch. There's also a creations section here. If you want to create a custom audience, lookalike audience, a custom conversion, or a product catalog. So right now, we're going to launch a test. So find new leads and customers by testing different interests and audiences and creatives. So this is what we need to do. When you go through the previous webinar, you will see that we have also covered retargeting. I believe we did retention too, but we're going to do it again today, and scaling also we're going to see today. So targeting. Now, this is the campaign creation area, and we on this first tab, we are going to choose an offer, and these are basically the products synced to from my e-commerce store. They can also be pages that you add to your offers here, and if this is totally optional, as it says here, but it helps you speed up your advertising workflow by saving your ads for late, so you can reuse them later, or by organizing your audiences for this offer, by organizing your media, your photos, your videos per offer. But you can definitely skip this part if you don't want to set your offer up. So again, let's select this offer right here and click next. And new campaign, existing campaign, we click new campaign into demo campaign. So we are looking for people who are going to purchase. So we need to go with the conversion objective, as we explained earlier. Next. And this is the ad sets tab. So this is the number of ad sets I have created so far. Right now I have one ad set. And these are this is the area where I can save my work. If there are several options, like for example, I always target a specific area or a specific age group, I can use the template and save the setup as a template in order to load it later fast. All right, so now because we didn't enable campaign budget optimization, we have the budget at the ad set level. So let's say we have $10 per ad set, and we select the pixel, the event. Say we want to purchase. We want to look for people who are most likely to perform a purchase event on our website. And then we go to targeting audiences. Now, this is the audience targeting, and it's where you set your interests. And in here, you need to test different variations, right? So let's say, for example, sunglasses. So we choose the interest here. This is a large one, so it's almost 400 million. So we want to keep it on its own variation and create another variation here. And let's say, for example, we're going after eyewear, and another one, and we're going for Ray-Ban. And in here, you can see that we already have 3 different audiences. Now for the locations, we can do the same, like target the locations here. We can, inside of the age and gender, say, for example, this is a male product. So for the gender, I'm just going to say male. And I would like to test people in their 20s. against people in their 30s. So for from 20 to 39 with a split of 9 years. So we have 2 variations here. So now we have 6 ad sets because we have 3 interests and we have 2 variations of age groups. We can also set our placements. So again, you should use your common sense and see to think which option is really going to make a difference in your metrics. You don't want to go and split test all placements or split test a lot of different, like for example, you don't want to go for here and do 3. You end up with 5 different ad sets, which means you will have to spend, say, $5 per ad set, which is $25 total, just to see. But in reality, there's not much difference between people from 20 to 23 and people from 24 to 27, etc. So what you want to do here is really use your common sense again and try to test only the options that are going to make a difference, right? So next, sorry. We were in the placements. If you click next, you go to the optimization, and these options here are pretty like, if you don't know, if you have never played with the automatic bidding, you can keep this as default. It will use automatic bidding. I'm sorry if you have never used manual bidding before. So you can keep your retention by default. So these are the default Facebook options, and you should be fine. Unless you really want to change a metric here, then you have the option. And we go to the ad creative. So let's create a new, and this is just because I'm getting this warning just because I'm on a demo account. So in the ad creative, we can create a new creative or choose creatives from the offer, from existing pages, from existing ad campaigns, or from a post ID or URL. And reusing existing creatives is good because, as we explained before, it's going to keep your social proof, because if you already have reactions and comments on existing posts, you don't want to create new posts and lose all that social proof. So you're going to keep the same creatives. So in that case, you're just going to, for example, offers creatives. Now I have some creatives here linked to this offer. So we can also go to the page and select our page and choose a creative from here, or we can go to the existing campaigns and pull creatives from there, and we can also paste the URL here and get our creatives from a URL or from a post ID. So let's create a new creative really quickly. We'll choose a page and click next. So in here, I can test different ad copies. So when you reach here, you can either type your ad copy here, or maybe you already have a text file that already has ad copies. So let's do ad copy 1. And the second variation is ad copy 2. So the media is where we select our pictures. We can also upload videos and select our thumbnails here, etc. By the way, thumbnails also help with videos. So some people will see the thumbnail before clicking to play. And if you have a thumbnail that's attracting attention, you have more chances of people clicking to play the video. And I've done this multiple times where I have a creative that's not necessarily very enticing or attracting, but I put a thumbnail that's going to attract that click from the user. More specifically, I was selling a phone case, and what I did is the video is demonstrating the phone case and how solid it is, and how resistant it is to shocks, etc. But the thumbnail had a hammer, and it was about to break a phone. So that thumbnail resulted in people clicking more on my ad and watching my video instead of just having a regular thumbnail. So there's just something to keep in mind with video thumbnails. They're very important as well. So now we have three media here, 2 photos and 1 video. The URL is pulled from the offer because I chose the offer, but you can put your website URL here. The call to action is good to always test different call to actions. So we're going to test shop now. We go to test, let's see, learn more, for example. And then we have description, although it's very optional. This is the text that goes below your ad. So headline demo 1 and description 1. You can add different variations if you want, but the ad copy is the most important because it's the text that's above the ad. So that's the one that gets read first most of the time. So we go to the Create tab, and in here you see that we have different creatives generated for us. So we have this photo with the ad copy 1, and then the same copy with a different photo, and then this third photo with ad copy 1, because we had 3 media variations and 2 ad copies. So you choose the ones that look best for you. So you choose, for example, this one and this one. So you choose those that are more that you like to, like sometimes the ad copy may not match the photo. So you just want to make sure everything makes sense. And let's click next and review our work. You can calculate the potential reach here of each audience. And you can open each ad set and see how each ad set looks. So we have the interests here, the age, the optimization, the locations, etc. And down here we have the ads that we have selected, and then we click next. And then we can launch the campaign here. In here we have more control over the structure of our ad. So for example, what we noticed and what everybody knows is that Facebook sometimes will send all the budget to one ad instead of really giving enough budget for each ad under an ad set to be able to test those ads. So for example, you see that ad 1 has got like 90% or 95% of the budget, while the second ad was not tested, and Facebook has already decided that this is the winning ad. So Facebook is recommending that you put all your ads under one ad set, but sometimes just if you want to test, you can put each ad under a separate ad set by clicking this option here. You can set your name in and enable UTM tagging in here, enable your campaign and ad sets, and click launch to launch the ad. All right, so let's get back to PowerPoint here. And after launching a test campaign, what we want to do is after running ads after spending some money on that campaign, what we want to do is know how our split test has done, right? So we've been working on a new feature in Scalify, and this feature is going to allow you to know exactly how your split tests are doing. So if you are familiar with the Ads Manager, you know that the Ads Manager is going to show you performance by campaign, by ad set, and by ad, and you can break down the performance by time, by age, and etc. But what you don't get in the Ads Manager is how your, for example, how your interest has performed across all the ad sets, or how your location or how your age group performed across all the ad sets. So we have developed a feature that allows you to see how each option has performed. So essentially, it gives you the split test results by ad set option and by creative option. And this allows you to see opportunities where you can improve. So for example, you can see that this ad copy has performed better than the other ad copy, or this age group has performed better than other age group across all your split test without being tied to one ad set or without being tied to one ad. So we call it campaign analysis. And campaign analysis allows you to have an overview of campaign performance, detailed reporting on audience split tests, detailed creative split test results, combined metric analysis, and a summary of your campaign setup and its split tests. So let's have a look. As you can see here, I'm under dev.scalify.app, and this is an area that's not accessible for normal users. But this is our developer version of Scalify, and it has features that are not released yet. So we're going to have an exclusive reveal of this feature, and I hope you like it. So you go to Analyze. So this is the normal dashboard that you get. And so you get the dashboard here with its widgets and the ads manager here. With all the conversion data that you always have. For example, you click on the revenue and you see the products that were sold. So this is all tied to Google Analytics. So you can see that you have seen at the end of the campaign creation that we kept enable Google Analytics UTM tagging on. And the reason we do that is to have the sales and reporting attributed back to the click on the ad. And that's how we are able to know which product has been sold for each campaign. And we are able to determine how much the cost of goods sold is, how much the profit is on each campaign. So this is like something you don't get anywhere else. You can turn that off and open the ad sets, and also break those things, like those conversions back in the ad sets. You can see that this ad set has sold 81 item here. It made 81 purchases of this specific product here, etc. So these are things that we have seen before. You can also see your audience on the map here, and a breakdown of the sessions. And data is aggregated from Facebook, from Google Analytics, and from Scalify calculated metrics. But this is not the point. This is something that we have already seen in the last webinar. The new feature is actually campaign analysis. So when you come here, you can see an analytics about each of your campaigns. So in here, you get a line chart of how your performance is over all campaigns. And in here, we can jump into one of these campaigns to see the details of that campaign. So let's, for example, go inside this one. And in here, we have an overview of the campaign. We can change the metrics here to see exactly what we want to see. Down here, we have some of the most important metrics that you want to be aware of. And then there is the audience split tests. And this is where it gets interesting. So we've talked a lot about metrics and how some metrics can be controlled to improve your ad performance. And in here, you can see that just like we launched ads with different locations, different interests, different age groups, after running after spending some money on those campaigns, you can come back in the campaign analysis and see exactly how each split test has performed, right? So we can see here that, for example, the purchase return on ad spend is higher for people from 51 to 65, as opposed to people from 24 to 40, right? So this is the best performing variation, and this is the worst performing variation. So, for example, Canada is performing better than the US in terms of purchase return on ad spend here. Interests, we can see interests as well. So eyewear is the best. The worst is glasses when it comes to the interests. All right, so you can choose the metric that you want to compare here. So, for example, cost per click. So you can see that eyewear has the lower cost per click. Total purchases. So eye protection has got the most purchases. So That's because it has spent more, so that's normal. Now, going down in here, we can also do the same thing, but in here we're going to have, let's go ahead and choose the audiences. And in here we have an overview of all the interests and their performance across all the ad sets. So this is not an ad set, this is an interest. For example, I want to see purchases. Here we go. So you can see the total purchases we got. You can see the cost per purchase. So you can see that, for example, eyewear has the lowest cost per purchase. And this is very important because what happens here is that once you finish the testing phase and you want to go, you start getting good results, but you want to stabilize. And what you want to do is get the best, for example, interests, and combine the best interest with the best age. And for example, for the creatives, you want to combine the best photo or the best video with the best ad copy. So that's how you take this even to the next step. And these are also available for creatives. And these icons need to be updated, but this is still in development. But you can see here that the ad text, this is the best ad text in terms of return on ad spend. Let me see the cost per purchase. This is the best ad text in terms of return of cost per purchase, sorry. So if you go to image and video, you see that this image has a lower cost per purchase, etc. So you can choose the metrics that makes that you want to see the best and worst performance of. So for example, in terms of CPM, this creative right here got $10 CPM, and this one got 14, almost $15. And again, you can go ahead and split test by ad text. And if you see some ad text or some option that's not performing well, what you can do is go directly and pause it right here, right? So you don't need to go ahead and manually look for it. You just click pause here, and it's going to look for all the ads that use this ad text, and it's going to pause them. Same for the ad sets. So if you see that, for example, let's see, what we can do here is return on ad spend. Those are very similar. Purchases. There are some missing metrics here that we still need to add. But you get the idea. So say, for example, you have, this is the worst return on ad spend. So you want to pause that interest. You just click pause, and it's going to go to all the ad sets that have that interest, and it's going to pause them. All right. So also you have a metric analysis. So in here you can see different metrics compared to different compared to each other. So for example, here we can do return on ad spend, and you can see that here this age group is performing better in terms of return on ad spend. So in terms of return on ad spend, you have the best is this age group right here, and the male is performing better than female in this case, in all of them actually. So you might want to consider breaking the two genders. Setup summary gives you a summary of your campaign settings, and it gives you a summary of your split tests. So the different split tests that you have done. And we are also working on what we call reporting, and sending automated reports to yourself and to your clients, and also on white labeling those reports. All right, so let's jump back. I hope this is not getting too long for you guys. Let's jump back here, and let's talk a little bit about retention campaigns, right? So as we've seen before, it's always good to have repeat buyers because it affects our overall business and our profitability. So I'm just going to show you the retention option without going into detail. But in Scalify allows you to retain customers. If you go to launch and retention, you will see that you have, let's go directly to the ad sets tab, and you can see that we have retention audiences. And in here, we have three options. We have the website traffic, retention from the purchases that are coming from your pixel, retention of your audiences or of your customers from your e-commerce platform. And we're also adding CRM. This option is not yet available on the live version of Scalify. We're still working on this one. But you can see here that, for example, I don't have integrations here, but just to show you that we are always developing something new for you guys. And this is not just a product for the PitchGround deal. This is a real SaaS product. And we have thousands of customers that are paying the full price every month for this to access Scalify. So if you don't get this deal, don't come back when it's too late or you will be paying the full price. So anyway, we encourage to use the platform because of the pixel limitations that have been going on lately. So your data is going to be more accurate and more complete if you choose to run retention through your platform. So for example, I want people who bought this product, and push this right here. People who bought this product and did not buy, say, for example, I'm promoting this product. So this will go to target my customers who bought this product but did not buy this one. And it's going to allow me to get very cheap cost per conversions because those people are already my customers. They already know me, right? So that's retention. All right, let's jump back here and yeah, so optimizing and stabilizing performance. Okay, so this is pretty simple. What you once you have now that you have the campaign analysis feature, what you will be able to do is see the best performing aspects of your ad and your ad creative, and you need to match winning audiences with winning creatives, right? So you need to get the best out of each split test, the elements that got you the best results, and combine them together. Keep an eye on your frequency because you always your frequency, the higher your frequency is, the more you will have you will suffer from ad fatigue, and that's one of the major problems. That's one of the major things that affect your long-term profitability and the good performance. When your ad starts getting too repetitive to your audience, your performance is going to start dropping. So that's why you need to create new ad creatives on a regular basis. Okay. So the scaling phase. So let's talk briefly about scaling. Scaling is you only want to scale once you see consistent results, and you don't want to scale after you first see results from your testing. You should take your time and build like reuse your best audiences, your best creatives, as we said before. You can do scaling in two ways. You can do vertical scaling and horizontal scale. So vertical scaling is when you take a campaign that's performing well and you start increasing its budget. And you typically want to increase the budget once per day without going over 20%, because if you do a drastic change of your budget, what happens is that your ad sets are going to reset to their learning phase, right? So what you want to do is increase steadily, but in small increments. And Scalify is going to Scalify allows you to do that automatically just by enabling one automation strategy. And it's going to take care of that for you automatically as long as you're profitable. Horizontal scaling is when you create new campaigns, new ad sets. So one is increasing the budget, the other is creating new campaigns and ad sets. So you can create new campaigns and test new interests. You can also create lookalike audiences of your customers and of your prospects. So by using Scalify, you can create tons of lookalike audiences and launch ads for them in a few clicks without having to do the manual work. So again, that's something that you should be aware of. So yeah, this is the automation, scaling through the automation. So you can just go ahead and take one of the scale strategies and just enable it. or scale through lookalike audiences. Let me just show you quickly where those are located. So for automation, you click on automation and you do create new automation, and then you choose from the automation library. And here you have a lot of automations related to both lead generation and e-commerce. So on the left sidebar, we have some filters. And if you want to scale, you just choose the scaling strategies. And then you preview the strategy here, and it's going to show you what it's going to do. So it's going to increase the budget by 20% whenever this condition is met. And this condition means that your ad is going to be profitable. When you click use strategy, you can fill these inputs here to make this strategy your own and make it work for your specific use case. So you just do use this, and you go through these steps. So this is going to go after all the campaigns that are either active or inactive. And next, this is the condition. This is the scheduling. So you can have this check. You can have it check every 15 minutes or once per day, etc. And you can have this automation running all the time or on a specific date range. And you can receive email notifications whenever something happens on your ad and action is taken. Or you can also link your Slack channel here to receive updates directly inside of Slack. Review your work here, and then you can create automation. So that's it for the automation strategies for scaling. There are also other automations that you need to be aware of. So choose from the library, and you have quick start automations. You have the safety automations is going to keep your budget safe and not spend too much money on ads that are not going to give you good results. So that's safety. Awaken is going to start ads that have new conversions that were attributed to them while they were paused. So that's something that's very difficult to find on your own. So you want to use a strategy for that. And we see our users are using this a lot actually. So scaling. So we have two different scaling with the lookalike audiences. The first one is a simple scaling campaign, and the second one, if you want to be more aggressive and you want to do a bulk scaling campaign. So the first one is just a scaling campaign with a similar setup to the setup that we have seen before, with the only difference is on the ad set level, we have the scaling audiences tab, and you can look for lookalike audiences of your existing customers. You can also filter customers by the minimum lifetime value, and you choose your country here, and then you choose a number of lookalike audiences that can go all the way to 20, 1 being the most precise, 20 being the less precise. All right, so in Facebook, you're only able to go to up to 10%. So anyway, we go back to bulk scaling. So the bulk scaling feature is going to allow you to be very aggressive again with your scaling. So you can go ahead and create lookalike audiences of website traffic, video views, page engagement, etc. You can also link your offer to your lookalike audiences. So for example, if you want only people who have interacted with this product, then you can do that. And you can select, for example, people who purchased, who added to cart, and select your country, or select all if you're really confident that you have enough data and you want to really go nuts on this. All right, so you can also create lookalike audiences without necessarily creating an ad for them. You can do that by going to lookalike audiences here. All right, and then let's see. I think we're done here. So quick recap. Today we talked about the cost of your Facebook ads, understanding your funnel metrics. We went through a metrics simulation that helped us understand how a change in some metrics can drastically impact the performance of our ads. So we talked about the testing phase. We introduced a new feature to Scalify. optimizing and stabilizing your ad performance. And we talked about the scaling phase, and we gave quick demos of Scalify along the way. All right, so that's about it. Thank you for watching, and I hope I was not too long for you guys.
And we are here. What is going on, guys?
I think that was some crazy value bomb throughout the
Insane
webinar.
value. Like,
But
wow. People who are not taking notes, what were you doing?
Yeah, definitely. Like even though like I've worked on so many campaigns and I've managed over like $50 million in ad spending, I think I've definitely picked up so many different golden nuggets. One thing I do wish is like I had access to Scalify by then. Life would have been a lot more easier. But this definitely makes things a lot more easy. One of the requests that we are getting crazily is people are asking for Google Sheet access. So maybe Yasir, if you can share like a shareable link in the chat, that would be awesome.
Sure.
And people are asking about the replay, guys. Don't worry, give us 24 hours and the replay would be uploaded. I'm going to show you where I'm going to share.
Guys, we'll be sharing the sheet, so you can just make a copy of that sheet for yourself. When you're using Scalify, you can easily use that to make some very good predictions. If you're managing ads for your clients, I think this is fantastic because you can just grab in their budget, put in the budget, and then like you'll start getting some stats right away. Dave will be adding the presentation copy on the community. So just give us a day, one business day, and everything should be available in on community.pitchground.com. Guys, if you have any questions, please make sure to ask them in the Q&A section. We'll start taking up all the questions right now and ensure that all of the questions are answered. But just make sure that it's on the Q&A. We're not going to be taking any questions in the chat. Just a moment. I think Yashir, you shared it with the panelists only. So let me just...
Yes, he does it always. He shares it only with the panelists. All right.
What?
Yeah. Okay, guys, that's I've shared the Google Sheet link in the chat for everyone. So you guys can just click on it, make a copy. Just make sure you do this right now, because just in case if we are done with the webinar, you won't be seeing this link anymore. Neither it will be available in the replay. So just make sure that you guys copy this sheet for yourself so that you can use it for yourself and for your client. So guys, again, drop in a question in the Q&A section and we'll get started. Again, guys, make sure to stay till the end because we have a lot of giveaways. We have a lot of awesome stuff and we have some insane offer for Scalify. For all of you, that is absolutely no-brainer if you're interested. So let's begin with all the questions. The first question is from Piyush. She's asking, will the recording be shared? Definitely, Piyush. You'll be getting a notification, gives a 1 business day. And the replay should be available in events.pitchground.com. You will be able to find all the replays over there for the previous webinars as well. So a ton of value bombs in the previous as well. So if you have joined PitchGround events for the first time, you can still access to all of the events that we have been doing privately. For all of it's only available privately. So just make sure you register. If you have done that, then you'll be able to access all of them. Moving on to the next question. It's from Nachiketa. Okay, this question is not full for some reasons, but I'm still going to ask. If there is ad 1, ad 2, and ad 3, and we have 2 ad sets, I want first ad set with only copy 1 and ad set with second, and ad set 2 with second and third copy. I think that's pretty straightforward, Nachiketa, but Yasir, I think it will be very easy if you can just show them very quickly.
Yeah, the question she has is a bit specific because she wants ad 1 only on as it on. She wants the first ad set with ad 1 only and as set 2 with ad 2 and 3. So what you can do is simply go ahead and create all the ads as I said. And you will have them you will have all ads under each ad set, and then you just pause those that you don't want. That would be easier.
Perfect. Let's ask the second question. It's from Prashant. Prashant is asking, what's the best kind of creative to convert landing page to leads?
What kind of creatives are best for top of the funnel acquisition? I can't say exactly because this will really depend on your audience and your offer, but I highly recommend video ads especially with a good hook at the very beginning to attract attention. Because all you want to do, like your only job at the ad creative level, is to attract attention, build interest, and send them to your form. So the best way to do that, in my experience, is through video ads. You can also have images, but images are kind of hard to do to have. It's hard to have a very good image that's attracting attention unless you really know who your audience is, and you can build, like, you can make an image that they can really relate to and be attracted to. But video works better for most audiences.
Perfect. Before we get started with all the questions, we have been getting a lot of requests from users who wants to dive into grabbing Scalify. So Minank, over to you. If you can quickly share the users what the amazing offer is.
The offer of the day, this is what everyone has been waiting for. So let me just quickly share my screen, and I'm gonna one second. I think let's take in one more question. 1 second. Let me just quickly share my screen.
You can just share your screen.
Yeah. I hope everyone can see my screen right now.
Yep.
Perfect. So this is the Scalify offer that we have for you today, guys. The Scalify lifetime deal can be purchased from going to pitchground.com/products/Scalify. And then you can see that the lifetime deal starts at just $49 for Scalify and goes all the way till $995, the plan with sub accounts. So if you're a solopreneur, you probably don't need this plan. If you're like a freelancer, you probably don't need this plan. This just adds $5 million in ad spend per month. If you're not doing that much, it's all right. We're just starting out. You can just go with the base plan only. But the offer today is truly simple. Anyone who makes a purchase above the $97 plan will get 1+1. That's double the offer. So basically, we'll get another $97 plan for free. That is the offer that we're giving you. For example, if you purchase the $995 plan, you'll get another $995 plan absolutely for free. The offer is limited only to like by the end of this webinar, guys. So make sure you purchase, because we have a ton of questions that are coming in. The Q&A is going to go long. So you have plenty of time to purchase it. If you purchase it during the webinar. So here's in a really simple way to explain it.
Guys, so here is what it is, right? We have the one-on-one offer for you. So if you purchase any plan above $97 or above plans, you get another code for free. Just drop in, make your purchase, drop in your review. And once that is done, I've just dropped in the link for the form. Just fill that form, and within 3 business working days, what we'll do is we will add in the second code for you into your account. Now, what can you do with the second code? You can give it away to your clients, or you can use it for your clients separately and have your own account for yourself, managing everything for yourself. You can give it away as a value, or you can just do a freebie in your community, right, where you can generate engagement. So you can do whatever you want with that particular code, but this offer is only available for 1 hour. That's it. After that, the form will close. Once the form is closed, you would not be able to get this offer anymore. Again, make any purchase that is above $97, drop in a review and just fill in the form. The form link has been shared in the chat. As soon as that is done, you are all set on your end, and within 3 business working days, we will be adding the second code into your account. This is an exclusive webinar only offer, is only available for 1 hour. So it's completely up to you whether you want to take this offer right now. But if you make a purchase later on as well, it's still available on lifetime deal, but it will not be available on a 1+1 offer anymore. So some people are asking, how do they process a refund and upgrade? So all you can do is just process a refund to your PitchGround wallet. That you will see that option into your account and make a new purchase of the upgraded plan that you want, and then just use the refund that you have put into your wallet back into your account while making the new purchase. That's it, and just pay the difference. It's all automated. And again, just make sure to drop in a review and fill in the form. The form link is in the chat. Make sure that you fill in the chat, and within 3 business working days, we will be adding another code into your account. It's usually going to take a day, but sometimes it gets really very crazy where there are hundreds of people coming in. So sometimes it can take us up to 3 business days, but 3 business days is the maximum. You have 1 hour. As soon as the form closed, that means the offer is completely over. As you can see, we have not put it up anywhere on the website, nothing. This is exclusively for you guys because you guys stayed right till the end. So that's the offer for you guys. We'll be also like revealing a lot of giveaways at the end. So stay tuned. Again, if you have any questions, then drop them in the comment below in the chat, and we'll be happy to take up those questions with regards to the 1+1 offer. Moving back to the questions again, Minak, you want to start taking up all the questions very quickly?
Oh, yes. Let me stop my screen share. You can grab the deal,
sure.
guys.
So Prashant is asking, so this is already covered. So Ash is asking, Facebook keeps updating its API and policies from time to time. How will Scalify keep up with the updates? If something breaks, the product will become unusable?
That's a very good question. Facebook, whenever Facebook updates the API, it already it tells us about it before the update. It tells us what the endpoints that are not going to be working anymore, if there are any breaking changes, etc. So it's a whole process that Facebook goes through before updating the API to ensure a seamless transition to the new version. So we've been doing this since 2018, and we are very much in the loop with Facebook API updates. So you don't really need to worry about this.
Perfect. Okay, moving on to the next question. It's from Mega. Okay, it's something else. So let's move on. Okay, Prashant is asking how to figure out the targeting that actually works. Great question.
Very good question. As always, you always need to test, right? So as we demonstrated in the targeting demo, you always need to test different interests and combine them with different age groups, different genders. If you are international, different countries maybe, and you always want to make your use your common sense because you should have. I hope you have already built your avatar and you know who your customer is more or less. So you should always build your avatar and go use do the targeting according to what you believe is going to work. And always keep your interest audiences that you are testing larger than 500K, as we mentioned in the presentation. But it all comes down to how much you can test and how much you analyze the data, how good you are at analyzing the data. And the campaign analysis feature that we have just introduced makes this process very, very much easier.
Perfect. So I hope, Prashant, that answers your question. Guys, I'm going to throw in one more amazing offer. Whoever makes a purchase in this 1 hour, I will be doing a personal consultation for them, and we'll go through their entire ad sets. And it will be a nice 1 hour audit that I'll give you guys for your account to ensure that you are able to scale up, especially using Scalify. So now this is alone worth like thousands of dollars, because I usually do it for our very high-end clients, where I charge them thousands of dollars, and I'll do that for absolutely free for you guys if you pick up a copy of Scalify right now and fill that form. So that is like an offer on top of offer for all of the users who are making a purchase right now. And I will be sending an email to all of those users separately, asking them to schedule a call with me. So anytime you can schedule a call, we'll be jumping on a call and we'll be doing a live review for your account to make sure that you are able to get going, especially the ones if you haven't started your ads yet and need help with one-to-one consultation. This is your opportunity. This is your chance to get the best out of us to help you get started. So I hope this adds the cherry on the top for you guys, because this is something that we have never offered ever again in any of the webinars. Okay, moving on to the next question. Okay, so the next question is from Prashant again. Should we keep detailed targeting expansion on or off?
If you are detailed targeting is good to tick if you have an interest targeting that is very small, right? Because that is an option that's added by Facebook, because Facebook needs more data to work with. It needs larger audiences. So if you go ahead and choose an interest that is smaller than, for example, 100,000 reach, or for example, 50,000 people, then you need to tick that box in order to allow Facebook to go broader and be able to find more people for you. But if you have large audiences and you are testing large audiences, then you can leave it off.
Yeah, so I'll just like to add to that. So this is something that I've tested out a lot and I've gotten great result. So let's say that if you are adding just one interest, right? That's a very, very highly targeted interest of, let's say, your competitor, right? But the number of the interest audience size is not big. At that point of stage, what I will recommend is duplicating your ad set and creating the second ad set with the expansion on, and then run that split test and see which one is performing better. Whenever I've done that, I've always seen the one with the expansion on always performing better, and it will cost cheaper as well, because if your audience size is small, your cost of acquisition of a customer goes up drastically, because Facebook needs a lot of audience to show your ads to, and the larger the audience, the cheaper it would get for you. So what my recommendation would be, always run both the ads, see which one is performing best for you, and scale up from that. And if the one that is not performing, just switch off the ad set, or you can just use the automation feature inside Scalify that does that job for you. Moving on to the next question. How to tackle with Facebook ads payment issue? Velenko, can you mention what kind of issue that you're facing? Because I've never faced any issue with ads payment. Maybe there could be something very specific with your account. So I would say reach out to Facebook ad support via their live chat, because this is more of your ad account issue, especially with regards to payment. So I don't think we would be able to help you over here. It's directly related to Facebook. Moving on to the next one. Your presentation is beautiful. Which software do you use?
Thank you. Actually, I just use PowerPoint, as you saw. It's just PowerPoint. But thank you.
Perfect. Okay. We are getting again a lot of questions about upgrades. So guys, what you can do is you can head into your PitchGround account and just process a refund to your PitchGround wallet, and then choose the upgraded plan and simply pay the difference and use the pending amount from your wallet to pay that particular difference. So that way you cover up for whatever you have already paid in your new purchase, and just pay the difference, and that's it. You're all set. After that, just fill up the form and you're all set. Yes, we will be sharing the presentation, guys, in one business day on the community section. So just stay tuned for that. Moving on to the next question. It's from Blue. I thought this webinar was the same, so do not write to understand what's, I think we have already covered this, Blue. Our next question is from Victor. He's asking, why Scalify does not use project approach and more of selecting ads account and website independently? Because when we have a lot of account and site registered, there's a high probability that we can mismatch the account and website any specific reason. I think that's a great question.
It's a very good question. Exactly. That's something that we might actually consider. The reason why we did this is that this setup this way is because I myself and my team are actually using different ad accounts in order to promote different niches and different types of ads to the same website. So that's why we kept it flexible. But what you are saying, Victor, definitely makes sense, because if you have only one ad account and one store per project, it actually makes sense to have the project approach, and it's not very hard to implement with the current setup. We just have to add the project's settings and make it work. But thanks for the feedback.
Awesome. So Victor, there you go. I think folders will be coming up very soon. It's probably, he said he's going to add it in the roadmap. Thank you for that brilliant suggestion. Moving on to the next question from Nikhil. How to track CTR? What percentage is CTR for an ad is considered as a good working ad? You want to add in first, then I want to add in some more to it.
How to track CTR? What percentage CTR for an ad is considered good? A good CTR. It will really depend on the audience and niche, of course, because it's like it always depends. But from my experience, the highest CTR I got is around 5%. And the lowest I got is 0%, but it's like 5% is considered to be really good. If you are at around 2%, it's average, and you can be profitable with 2 to 3%. 5% is really good. 1% can be improved.
I would just like to add to it. Nikhil, if your goal is purely to send traffic to your website and you don't care about the conversion, then at that point of stage, what I've seen is that running traffic as a campaign will work out a lot better for you. Your CTR will be a lot higher, but the conversions will not be that much, because Facebook will start optimizing all of your campaigns based on sending them traffic, who is more likely to click on it and not purchase. So if that's your goal, then use that. But if your goal is conversion, then always use conversion ad, because then Facebook will start showing your ads to people who are likely to make a purchase and not just click on it. So you need to clearly define what your goal is before running the campaign in order to really optimize and get the best possible results. So for example, whenever we run sort of like events like these, we often try to test out with traffic campaign because we need to generate high amount of clicks. Then we create a custom audience from it, and then we create a conversion audience after that. This way, what happens is that we are able to create a very large set of audience size, and then we are able to immediately create a lookalike audience. But also, when we are creating that custom audience for the people who visited our event page right now, what we do is we only select the people who have stayed on the website for a minimum of 15 seconds or have scrolled the website at least like 50%. So those are the audience that we select, and then we create like conversion ads specifically for them. And that's how we kind of like get some very good conversions out of it, where we're creating like multiple touch points. This is what we call as like ad funnel, right? So we're creating like a two level of ad funnel to kind of like divert people who have clicked on it on a very cheap price and then start converting them. And that's why our conversions are so freaking high with this particular strategy. So this is how you can start doing different sort of funneling. So this is one of them that we use. It's very effective, and you can implement this right away. And again, if you make a purchase, I will be very happy to help you out with all of these over a call of 1 hour. So make the most of it, guys. Make sure that you click on the buy button and grab this for not just for Scalify, but for the consultation alone, because I'll be sending out all the emails tomorrow morning. The first thing that I'll do that, and I'll schedule the whole call with all of you, each one of you who makes the purchase by tomorrow. So entire week I'll be getting on a call with each one of you. Moving on to the next question. Shreyans is asking how impressions can give you sales. I think we just talked about it, Shreyans. So I hope that answers your question. We've covered that. Next question is from Victor. Victor is asking, any specific estimation where I can exclude audience based on a pixel event like lead, contact, registration really need it since the campaign is not e-commerce? I think, Victor, the best way to really do it is by creating a custom audience out of those events. And then there is an exclude feature where you can exclude those events, but you will have to create custom audience out of those events. Facebook or anywhere, it doesn't really allow you to just directly throw in a different event into your exclude. Yasir, do you want to add to it?
We're actually working on this one because it was requested several times. Excluding standard events from your custom audiences is coming very soon. We're already working on it. We're also working on excluding custom audiences from interests, so you can keep those cold audiences at the top of the funnel, and you have more control over each funnel stage. So it's definitely coming up, Victor. Another great suggestion. This one is already coming up. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay. Next question. How to match creative to match with media? So when it's on Instagram story, it use portrait resolution, etc. On Facebook dashboard, it's add creative, media, edit. Thanks, Yasir.
How to
I think
how
it's
to manage
probably
creative with
asking about the
media.
media, the resolution itself of different ads and images. So, for example, with Instagram stories, it's more of like a portrait resolution, I think. So it's just like different resolution is probably talking about.
Oh, yes. Gotcha. Yeah, that's right. We are still improving our creative builder. We are going to add the carousel creative. We're also going to add ratios that are optimized for stories. So 9:16. And yeah, so it's a work in progress. Our creatives builder is getting better and better. Right now, you can only input one media ratio, but the other placements will have their own dedicated versions right inside of the creatives builder.
Perfect. I hope, Victor, that answers your question. If you have any follow-up questions, you can ask them. We'll try to cover most of them. Moving on to the next question. Do we get a certificate for attending the webinar? No, I'm sorry, we don't do certificates, but I think you could have picked up a ton of value that should be able to help you make money and get sales. I think that matters the most, I feel. Moving on to the next question. Can we have a document explaining the calculations? Blue, definitely what we'll do is maybe we'll follow up and do a post on the community itself, explaining a bit more about the calculations and how many of those things work. So just give us like a couple of business days and we'll be posting it and we'll be getting back to you. So just make sure that you keep a check on community.pitchground.com once a day because all of the stuff is being posted over there.
If this is about the calculations, sorry, if this is about the calculations in the spreadsheet, then the spreadsheet already explains the calculations on each line. There is what the metric is and how it is calculated right next to it. So just look in the chat for the link of the spreadsheet and you have access to it.
Perfect. Next question. Can you take some example of selling services and not just products? I think I actually have a great answer for this, Ceci, if I can. So
Sure.
what you can do over here whenever it comes to selling any services, Shival, is not to try to sell your services directly on your page, but rather what you can do is you can set up a great landing page and use any sort of calendar booking software. It doesn't matter which one you want to use. It's your choice, your preference. Use that and focus on booking calls. That should be your primary goal and primary focus if you're selling services. That fill up your calendar so that once you start filling up the calendars, you can then get on the call with those users and make sure that when you're doing that, you're setting up reminders, you're sending up enough emails, you're trying to get in touch with them, you're trying to get enough information from them prior to getting on a call. So that way, the user would be on a or would get on a call and then try to pitch for your services directly. First, then again, provide some value to them. So we at PitchGround, we often use a software known as pitch.com. You guys can use it. It's a very amazing software. I think it's only $10 a month. Again, we have not affiliated with pitch.com in any way. We are a customer. We use it. So hence, I'm recommending it to you guys. You can use pitch.com. Create a beautiful looking presentation for all kinds of webinars that you, for all kinds of one-to-one call that you want, and then pitch on the call. And I'm pretty sure that the engagement that you will have when selling services would be quite high, and you would be able to increase the conversion drastically. So that's how you can drive users to sell services using Facebook ads. But again, if you make a purchase, I'll be happy to set something up for you, personalized on a very personal note when we got on one-to-one personal call. So make sure that you check on your email tomorrow for all of those people who have made a purchase. Do not miss out. That consultation alone will drive your entire business. I can guarantee you that, because I'll be following up with all of you guys to making sure that your campaigns are successful. You have started getting leads and you've started getting customers. Yasi, do you want to add something to it?
No, all right. I'm answering some questions by text because they are repeated.
Okay.
It's just questions for the sheet.
Let's move on to the next question. It's from Anmol. While targeting the right traffic for your ad, what are the major mistakes done by people, and how to avoid these mistakes?
some of the major mistakes done by people while targeting their ads. Going after small audiences is one of them. Not testing enough targets, like assuming that Facebook ads does not work while you have just tested 1 or 2 audiences. Not spending enough on tests because as we explained in the earlier webinar, you are not going to be profitable on day 1. So you should be willing to lose some money in testing and collecting data in order to start seeing results. So a lack of patience, I would say. Yeah, those are some of the most recurring problems I see. Want to add something?
Just to add to it, I think there are a few more things that you need to look into. Is make sure that your CTA is very crystal clear. You need to let people know what to do at the end of your copy, right? So usually I have a very common, very simple CTA that I use for pretty much all my ads is click on the learn more button to get started. That's it. And then I use the learn more button inside the ad. Very simple ad copy, very straightforward CTA. This gets people going. So make sure that you include a CTA. That's very, very important. Second, make sure that your landing page is very clear in terms of what you're offering, what you're going to do, how you're going to help people. Make sure that your landing page is good looking. And the third most important thing, make sure that it loads in less than a second. If it takes longer than that, it takes people less than half of a millisecond to press the back button and you've lost your money. So make sure of doing that, right? Get a good landing page. Do not use WordPress if possible, though you can use it, no problem with that. But again, I prefer using landing pages separately for that because it's highly optimized. The entire page is very optimized. There are very less content. Most of the things are like CDN optimized. So that's just my preference. It always works out for me. But again, if something else works out for you, use that, but just try to avoid these mistakes. Moving on to the next question. Can we have a document? I think this is something that we've already answered, I suppose. Okay, moving on to the next one. I think these are already answered. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so the next question is from Prashant. How big should a target, how big should be targeting be in terms of potential reach? Is less than 1 million too expensive? What is the ideal range of audience with detailed targeting expansion on?
Sorry, which question it is? I'm not following with you.
I think I'm asking how big should be your target audience, basically.
The larger, the better. Some people, once some advertisers, once they start getting good results on their ad account, at some point they literally remove all interest and go full broad because their ad account already has data. So there is really no limit, but in the very beginning, you want to have more control and go for audiences up to 1 million, between 500K and 1 million in testing. But the more you scale, the larger your audiences are going to get.
Perfect. Moving on to the next question. It's from Amara. If I'm testing a product through conversion ad and I get a conversion early in the test stage, is it wise to stop the test and conclude the product is good? I mean, all the metrics are good. There is a conversion, a custom event in terms of with an ad spend of less than $2. Is it safe to stop the test and conclude that product will sell and go on to stock it, or should I go on for a few more days getting the goods from China? Amara, I would you can go ahead. Say first.
Especially with the $2, no, it's not safe because you might have just got lucky. What Facebook does in the very beginning, when you just run a new ad, it tries to give you the best audience in the very beginning to see how your ad is going to perform and if it's going to get results. So this often happens because whenever you run a new ad, you get a purchase and then the performance drops. That's because Facebook gave you its best audience at the very beginning. What you need to do is have a minimum impressions. For example, say 8,000 impressions or 10,000 impressions, and then see what your cost per result on that number of impressions is. Because unless you have enough data to work with on a test, you're not going to be sure that that product is actually working. So you need to see consistent data first before deciding that all right, this product is good, it's going to sell.
Perfect. Just push this. Okay, so the next question is coming in from Doe. He's asking, can we share pixel Facebook ads on account ads in Scalify?
Sorry, what's the question again? Can we
share the pixel Facebook ads on account ads in Scalify?
Can we share the Facebook pixel on ad accounts in Scalify?
Yes, that's the question.
The Facebook pixel can be shared between ad accounts inside of business settings on your business manager. Once you do that on the business settings, the pixel will show up on Scalify under the ad account.
Just to add to it, just in case, also if you're looking for information in terms of managing pixels for your customers, what you can always do is you can use sub accounts for that and easily manage each of your customers in each of your sub accounts. It just depends upon your flow, how you want things to be more organized. Though you can use just one account to manage unlimited ad accounts, we highly recommend that if you're managing your clients, get a sub account. This helps you to keep everything very organized, very clean. Also, you can invite your clients to a sub account. This also makes them look like you're running a very professional workflow that will wow them and that will keep them on hook for a longer period of time because you are able to deliver results at that point of stage. So it just depends upon your workflow completely. That's on you. And Amara, just to add to the answer to Yasir, what Facebook AI does is it needs at least 50 conversions to come out of the learning phase. So the learning phase is the initial stage of the ads where they try to show the ads and see which kind of audiences are converting. And Facebook requires a minimum of 50 conversions to come out of that AI to understand your product, your service, and whom to serve the ad completely. And after that, you are in the stage where you are ready to go and start scaling up. But you will require that 50 conversions, and that's the basic Facebook requirement. So they need to do that in the learning stage. Anish is asking about Google Sheet. I think we've already shared that. I'll move on. Victor is asking, based on the official Facebook blueprint, advertisers suggested to minimize audience overlapping. This defeats the purpose of testing based on individual interest. What are your thoughts and tips on this?
Sure. So at the testing phase, you don't really want to. You can prevent overlap by going and excluding one interest from the other, etc. But I don't really advise for that, because what you are doing right now is just collecting data for Facebook and training Facebook on who the people are who are going liking your offer and converting. And the more you test, the better the training is. And at some point, even though those tests, like those interests that you started testing with in the very beginning, they just helped Facebook collect data. But then you start pushing people through your funnel, going through lookalike audiences, etc. And you are no longer at the interest phase, but you are targeting other audiences. And I agree with you. There is an overlap, but at the very beginning, it's really not that. It's not really going to impact you that much.
Perfect. Moving on to the next question. Can you show us one demo store setup with WooCommerce? I think we'll probably have to do another session on that, maybe, where we can go into such technicalities, because that's probably going to take like an hour to fully show the setup and everything. And I don't think we have enough time right now, Sagar. So just give us some time. And in the next webinar, we'll go more in depth in terms of setting up the fundamentals and a lot of those things where things are going to be a lot more practical. with regards to Shopify, with regards to generic non-Shopify WooCommerce as well. So we'll try to cover up in that next webinar. Thank you for the suggestion. Moving on, location should come first before interest to check the exact audience. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm sorry, I'm not able to follow you, Udit. I'm not sure which question you are on.
Just click on Arvind. Question from Arvind.
Okay, question from Arvind. Moment. Anyway, can you read it from me again, please?
Location should come first before interest to check the exact audience.
Oh, I agree about that because that's related to the reach of the audience. Totally agree about with that. Yeah.
Perfect.
Thanks for the feedback about that.
I'm going to move on to the next question. Can you please add the editing published ad feature in roadmap? I love Scalify so much that I don't want to see the face of my ex anymore, ad manager.
What image is he talking about?
He's talking about adding the ability to edit published ad feature.
The published ad feature. I'm not sure what that is.
Sagar, I think what you can do is just to clarify what you are asking for. Maybe you can just reach out to the support of Scalify directly and speak with Yasir. I think that will be ideal. Or I think Yasir, maybe you just want to drop in your Instagram. So if Sagar wants to reach out to you,
Sure.
he can just easily do that. So Sagar, just reach out to him on Instagram. Maybe that will be a lot faster. So just send him a DM and we'll be happy to do that. Also, guys, make sure that you follow me on Instagram because I'll be giving away a book. This is Marketing by Seth Godin. So make sure that you guys follow me on Instagram and send me a DM. I will be picking up the winner at the end of this event, along with a bunch of other events. So just make sure that you guys follow and it should be a lot of fun. Okay, moving on to the next question, guys. And again, the form closes in exactly 25 minutes, guys. If you are looking for the one-on-one offer and the consultation offer, now is the time because I'll be sending out emails to everyone tomorrow. Once the form closes, that offer is no longer available. So make sure, please, you take advantage of this because that one call consultation alone will be worth thousands of dollars for you because I'll be following up with you to help you ensure that you get your first few leads and customers. No company will ever do that, right? We're going way beyond for you guys because you stayed right till the end. So we want you guys to take advantage of it. So tomorrow in about 15 hours, you should be receiving an email from me to schedule a direct call with me. And if there are any further questions, I'll pass on those questions to Yasir to maybe we can further help you out because our goal is to help you get started and not just help and not just ask you to make a purchase of Scalify and then forget it. We want you to start using it. We want you to get going with Facebook ads. We want you to get sales going on for you because that's happening for us. That's how Yasir has scaled up all of his businesses. That's how I've scaled up all of my businesses thanks to Facebook ad. About 95% of our customers comes from Facebook ad, and the rest of the 5% comes from YouTube and Google ads right now. So if we can do it, you guys can do it too. And we are here to help you guys out. So make sure, please take advantage of this. You're not going to get such an offer ever again. So next question is, I did not watch the previous webinar, so would watching that right away help or not? Definitely the first webinar is a ton of value. It talks more about the fundamentals to begin with. So that will definitely help you out. So do check out events.pitchground.com/replays. Minank, maybe you can just drop in the link. That will be very helpful for everyone. Moving on to the next one. Can we have a custom matrix on Analyze?
Victor, I'm not sure what you mean by custom metrics. If you could elaborate on that, I would be happy to look into it.
Perfect. Just drop in a follow-up question. Just make sure that you're very detailed with your question so that we are able to answer it right away. Moving on to the next question. Under targeting offer section, why my revenue of the product is showing wrong, or how to tweak those numbers on Scalify?
This will really depend on the platform that you have connected, if it's Shopify, WooCommerce, etc. It can also depend on the Google Analytics, I believe. So if you can reach out to us on support@scalify.com, we'll be more than happy to have a look into your account and give you the exact reason why that is happening on your specific situation. And of course, if it's a problem on our end, we'll jump right away and fix it.
Perfect. Moving on to the next question. I don't see the campaign analysis in my menu. Is it in production yet, or is it in staging?
Yes, it's currently in development. Everything I showed today is currently being developed, and it's almost ready, as you can see. So it'll be out on the live version in a few days.
Perfect. Moving on to the next question. It's from Brijesh. Udit, where is the link for the one-to-one session? So Brijesh, as soon as you make your purchase and fill in the form that we have shared, just give me about 15 hours. I'll be sending out an email to everyone with my calendar link so that you guys can just book the call. So you guys will be receiving an email from me tomorrow morning. So just have a wait on that, and you should be receiving an email in the morning tomorrow. Moving on to the next question. For the campaign analysis, do you need to split your targeting prior for this to show? For example, if I did not break down my ad sets by gender, will I still be able to see what gender performed better with campaign analysis as you showed?
The campaign analysis really gives you the result of your split test. So you have to break them down. If you want to see the result by gender, you can simply go ahead in Ads Manager and just click the breakdown by age or breakdown by gender, and it will give you all the details for each gender and for each age.
Perfect. Another thing that you can do is you can use the breakdown feature inside your business manager, just in case if you want. That shows a great breakdown of the things. It's very easy. Just click on the breakdown, done, select, and you'll be seeing a lot of data. So that's very helpful. That gives you some nice, very quick data that you can utilize. And again, guys, it's just 20 minutes left. Please do not miss out on this opportunity, because like I said, it's not just the one-on-one tool you're getting the consultation as well. Tomorrow you'll be receiving an email. Just schedule a call at your convenience anytime this week, and would love to help you guys grow and start getting your first few leads, or help you optimize and help you start scaling up on everything on your campaigns to make sure that you guys make your money back on Scalify with the help of our support. Moving on to the next one. When to use targeting, retargeting, retention, and scaling? Should we use all one by one or use it all at once?
For this one, the answer is you have to understand your funnel. And in the last webinar, we have talked about the funnel in detail and how you can use each of these features to build your advertising funnel and to be able to push those cold audiences down your funnel to make conversions and to acquire customers and leads. So definitely check out the previous webinar where we went in detail and talked about the advertising funnel that will answer this question for you.
Okay, moving on to the next question. This question is from Dave. He's asking best frequency to avoid ad fatigue yet increase possibility of sales. That's a very good question.
Yes, indeed. I would say you never want to go over 10, which is pretty high, but you can easily reach 10 in retargeting. So what you want to do is always keep adding creatives and try to have like a lower frequency than 10. The more creative you add, the lower the frequency is going to be for your ads. So you don't want to bore your Facebook audience with the same creative over and over again. It's always a good idea to be consistent with new creatives.
One of the good suggestions that I can give you is you can use a CBO along with dynamic ads. That helps you to lower down your ad fatigue quite a bit, because you will be adding up to 5 different copies, up to 10 different creatives, and 10 headlines and 5 headlines and 5 descriptions. So what Facebook does is it creates a permutation and combination and creates maybe like 100 different variations of it to test out which one works the best. Lately, what I've been also seeing is that, especially for my ad account, this could be a new feature that Facebook is testing right now. They're testing the headline. They're testing the headline in the main ad copy itself. I've seen that happening for a lot of our ads, and this is something that I've never ever seen Facebook doing that. Also, not only that, they're putting up a text on top of creative for whatever you're adding in your headline. So Facebook dynamic creative ads is getting crazy at the moment. I've already made a video of it. I think I just need to finish up some of the editing. So maybe like another 1 or 2 days, I'll be sharing that video with all of you guys. You guys can pick up a lot of golden nuggets from that particular video as well. So Dave, I hope that answers your question. Moving on to the next one from Shreyans. Do we have Scalify mobile app so that we can track ads on the go?
We don't have a mobile app yet, but the app is fully responsive, so you can open it easily on your mobile, and it will look it will be adjusted to the mobile size. But we definitely have a mobile version coming up, and it's on our roadmap already.
Perfect. Do you think, Yessi, it would be a lot faster to add a PWA?
Sorry, but
can we add like a progressive web app? I think that could be a potential.
Yeah, that's the idea. Yes, yes.
Perfect. Because I think instead of developing the whole app, PWA would be a lot faster to implement because Scalify is massive, and Absolutely. To add all of those features inside, Scalify is like building Scalify from scratch at that point of stage. Yes. Perfect. Moving on to the next one. Sagar is saying, is there a way to nominate Yasir as a CEO of Facebook? Facebook Ad Manager sucks. Their UI UX sucks. They should learn from Scalify. I think
remember this question. I believe this is going to be the best question so far.
There you go. We already have the answer. We already have the winner for this. You just do it. All right. I think Yasir will have to buy 67% of Facebook, and we'll love that to happen, you know. Moving on to the next question. Does Facebook ads still work? Or definitely it works, right? That's how you probably saw the event. That's how you probably registered for the events through Facebook ads. It works. It just works. If you still want to learn, if you need some hand-holding and help, again, make sure that you grab your purchase, and the deal closes in exactly 12 minutes, guys. So once the form closes, we would not be opening this form again. And we again, like reminding you over and over again, 12 minutes is what you have. Take advantage of the offer. Again, it's a brilliant offer, not just on the app itself, but the consultation alone is going to blow away your mind, because it's going to be one-on-one person, and I'll be spending 1 hour plus follow-ups through emails so that you can start getting leads and customers. So you will be making your money back in absolutely no time. Moving on to the next question. Need to go. Can I watch the video replay later? Definitely, the replays are going to be available for this video in like 1 hour. Sorry, in 1 business day. Next question. How can I access the that stimulator sheet? Maybe you can just quickly type in the answer for Kunal as well. Yes, you.
Yeah, sure.
Moving on to the next question. Yes, if it's possible, maybe some of the questions that are quite repetitive, you can just answer them in the chat itself, because we're kind of like running out of time. And to make sure that we complete as many questions as possible, you might want to just answer some of them. Next question is from Jay sir. Is there a way where we can control users to whom we do not want to show the ads? For example, a Facebook user who has already subscribed my product, I do not want to waste my time. Definitely, you can do that. You can simply create a custom audience, Jay sir, and simply exclude that custom audience, and you're all set, and it will never show that ad to that particular person ever again. So that's quite easy to do that. Simply upload the customer email into your custom audience, and you're all set. Make sure that you keep adding them and exclude. Rajat is saying, great stuff, Yasir. I have a question regarding campaign structure. I run an organic product company and recently built a website. I want to drive sales on my website through Facebook and Instagram ads. Can you recommend an approach? So Yasir, if you have to answer that very quickly, how will you?
Well, the best answer would be to watch the 2 webinars. We've talked about the funnel and about the metrics that you need to watch, how to test your ads, how to stabilize performance and scale. And the answer is quite long, so it's easier if you go through the two webinars. The first one we did in May, and this second one once it's ready for replay.
Perfect. And again, Rajat, if you need further help, you can grab the code right now and just wait for my email tomorrow morning and just schedule a one-on-one call with me. Again, we're ready to provide you value. Our next question is from Ishita. When I hired someone to do my Facebook ads, they said they couldn't target any particular university and students. Any suggestions on that? I have a great answer to this, because I have previously worked with a lot of people with university to help them. So one of the best thing you can do is you can use zip targeting for this. This is the best way to do that. So what you can do is wherever your university is located, right? If you want to target those people specifically in the university, just use a zip code and use up to like 5 kilometers or maybe like 3 miles, whatever the radius is, and just start targeting them. It will be very hyper target. That's something that you can start doing. Other than that, you have to start finding common interest grounds that those people would be studying in that particular university. So let's say that if you're targeting a university where that university is specializing in physics or in IT, then just look for some relevant books and authors around that particular book, and then use that as an interest. That's the best way in terms of hyper targeting those students and teachers in that particular university. Yesi, do you want to add in something else to this?
Definitely the location targeting. Location targeting is very important, is very powerful. And I'm not talking about the city or the country. I'm talking about really the area that you want to target. On Facebook, you can be very specific on the area. And as you said, in the what you suggested for the interest is a very good tip right there.
Perfect. So I'm going to move on to the next question. I hope that answers your question, Ishta. Ravi is, oh, by the way, if you've hired that ad agency who couldn't figure this out, you should fire them right away. Just wanted to add that. Okay. Next question is from Ravi. Ravi is asking, if I grab 2 codes, what will happen later if I reach $25,000? Oh, by the way, that $25,000 is monthly. So if you ever reach that, congrats, you're doing amazingly well. And you can upgrade with Scalify directly in the future. And if the LTD is still available, you can upgrade on the LTD. So by the way, if you ever reach that, that's like a great milestone to actually spend $25,000 per month. Moving on to the next question is from Lisa. What major and most important functionalities Scalify does that Facebook Ad Manager doesn't?
Many. So if you are if you are used to using Facebook ads on the Ads Manager, and you jump to Scalify, you will see a very big difference in speed. The time that it takes to test different audiences, the time that it takes to test different creatives, the connection to your e-commerce store or website, the connection to Google Analytics, where you have all your data aggregated inside of Scalify, and you can see all of your data in one place. There are many things actually. The first webinar was more in depth when it comes to Scalify features, and I can go for an hour talking about all the features and so on. But it's easier to either check out the first webinar or check out our YouTube channel, where we have different tutorials talking about each feature of Scalify. And we're adding to Scalify. It's always a work in progress, where we still add new features, and we listen a lot to our customers, because they are the main factor in what features we need to build next. So we build the product using our users' feedback, not just from our perspective.
Perfect. I'll move on to the next question. Can we do Facebook ads without any investment or minimum investment and get revenue? You cannot run Facebook ads without putting in any money, right? So you'll have to put in some marketing dollars. Definitely, you can start with a low budget and start scaling up. But again, you need to be very precise in terms of what you're trying to sell, how you're trying to sell. You need to make sure that your funnels are right, your ad copies are right, your landing pages are correct. So all of these things are very essential to maximize your revenue. If you skip on any of them, the problem would be that your conversions will go up and the cost of acquisition of a lead or a customer would go up drastically. So again, what we recommend is, again, buy the codes right now, you have a great opportunity to schedule a one-to-one call directly with me, no one else from the team, directly with me, because I have managed millions and millions of dollars with different brands, and with PitchGround itself, we have spent like a lot of money with Facebook ads already. So we'll be more than happy to help you out on a one-on-one personal level. Again, guys, just 4 minutes left before the form closes. If you want to take this opportunity, right now is the time. Aishita, thank you so much. I hope you like the answer. And this is something that I have personally worked with, so I know that it works like a charm. So there is no way it's not going to work. But again, if you've already made the purchase, then just wait for my email, and would love to get on a one-on-one call and help you out further with all of these things, because you trust me, with Scalify, you do not need an agency to be handling all of these things for you after that. Next question is from Vivek. He's saying, love the campaign analysis feature, will surely help. I have a few questions here. When I launch a new campaign with a lookalike audience, how do I exclude my existing customers? I can only exclude lookalike now.
Good question. Good question. And as I said before, someone asked this question earlier, and it's also a very recurring feature request that we're currently getting, and we're already working on these audience exclusions, adding them to interests, to lookalike audiences. So you can separate your funnel stages and have more control over your audiences. Definitely something we're currently working on, and that will be available in a few days.
Perfect. There's a second question, follow-up question. Do you still think duplicating working ad sets work in 2021? All of my ad sets have duplicated, has diminished returns over a week's period.
That's also my experience. Back in like 2017, 2018, we used to duplicate a lot, and that was the best way of scaling, because back then when you retouched the budgets, the performance dropped. But now what's working right now for us is CBO plus budget increases per day, no more than $20 budget increase per day. And you can set this up easily with Scalify automation by activating the scaling strategy, and it will keep increasing your budgets $20 per day as long as you are making profit.
Perfect. Third question is, when do you start scaling up?
So you only want to start scaling when you start getting consistent results, and the scaling should be done in slow increments in the very beginning. And as long as you see performance drop, you can lower the budget. You can start lowering budgets, increasing, lowering, it's depending on your performance. This is something, again, that's easily done with the one-click automation strategy. Just enable the automation strategy, and let Scalify do it for you automatically on a daily basis, or on or every 15 minutes, or on the schedule that you want.
Perfect. Moving on to the next question is from the room. Great. We have a 70-year-old kid here learning Facebook ads. Fantastic group. I want to congratulate you for actually taking the time out and looking to learn and get started with something different, where other people are busy spending their time elsewhere. Congratulations for actually taking that step. You deserve a good round of applause for that. So Dhruv, if you want to get started with your career in Facebook ads, I would recommend you to first check out the first webinar. That is very in-depth, and that is so perfect for someone who is just starting out, because we talk on the fundamentals of Facebook ads. We talk on the fundamentals of consumer, how they consume ads, what they buy, what they don't buy, how to do things. That is going to be very helpful for you. We've already pasted the link, but if you haven't got, just head to events.pitchground.com/replace with the S in the end, and just use Control F and search for Facebook. You should see the first webinar from us. Just watch that, and once you go through it, you're already in the second webinar. If you still have questions, simply send me a DM on Instagram. I'll be more than happy to give you next guide and happy to guide you, because someone who's 17 ready to hustle, I'm more than happy to help that particular individual to really start a fantastic fundamental at the start of their career. So just send me a DM on my Instagram. Minang, maybe you can just post in the Instagram link or direct link with HTTPS. That would be fantastic. Moving on to the next question. It's from Kai. Kai is asking, could you explain on the sub accounts, and if their ad spend can be each limited or tiered client? I assume they'll be using overlap ad spend caps. So Kai, what will happen would be, when you get sub accounts, you will have your primary account with all the ad spending, so you can allocate how much ad spend you want to allocate to each of the sub accounts. So you are in complete control over each of those sub accounts. Next question is.
It's about the exclusion again, and it's about the same feature to be able to exclude audiences from other audiences. And we've already answered this several times. It's already in the works, and it will be available in a few days.
Perfect. Do you see a decrease in results after Apple iOS 14 update, and how do you fix it? Does Facebook Pixel API solve that problem? Just to add to it, I think there was a statistic that only 5% of the Apple users have actually upgraded to it. So first of all, you don't really have to worry about it right now at the moment. But you want to add something else to it, Yassi, right now?
It's inevitable that most of Apple or iOS users are going to update. The Facebook Pixel API or the conversion API definitely has more consistency in data collection than the Facebook Pixel JavaScript cookie on iOS devices with this update. So I highly encourage you to upgrade to the conversions API if your platform has this integration. Another solution for retargeting is also to go after the engagement audiences instead of relying 100% on pixel data. So you also want to retarget people who engaged with your ad, people who follow your page, people who liked a post, people who viewed one of your videos, because that data is already on Facebook and it's 100% accurate, and there is no drop in data there. But it's a higher funnel stage. The pixel comes below that, but it's a good way to also run some retargeting ads to achieve good performance.
Perfect. Guys, we are closing in the form in another 2 minutes. This is your last opportunity for this offer. We're not going to be offering the consultation because, again, I'm going to be committing to like hundreds of you to be personally helping you out. That's the best I can do as an individual because there's only so many hours in a day. So again, just 2 minutes, make sure that you take advantage of this, because in 2 minutes, the form is going to be closed. And after that, honestly, we would not be opening the form. We gave enough time and ample time to everyone to really take advantage of this. You're literally getting a no-brainer deal. And again, in just 2 minutes, this form is going to close. And after that, the offer would no longer be available. Miran, can you just post the link for everyone once again? So again, guys, the offer is make a purchase of any plan of $97 plus, drop in a review in the Scalify page. And after that, just fill in the form. And once you have done that, give us 3 days. We'll add another code into your account. And I'll be sending out an email to all of you in about 15 hours with a link where you can schedule a call with me, and at your preferred time and at your preferred time zone. And we'll be very happy to help you guys out to start making some sales. Moving on to the next question, let's speed things up. Is there a possibility to set up an automated trigger based on frequency? What kind of
that's a good question actually. He's suggesting I believe to have an automation related to frequency to like maybe turn off the ads that have higher frequency and so that the budget runs to the other ads that have lower frequency, I believe. But I'm not sure if that's a good idea, because sometimes the ad that has more higher frequency is the one that is performing better. But it's definitely a good suggestion, and maybe we'll have a look into that possibility.
Perfect. Moving on to the next question. I run FB ads for traffic before, and it seems that FB stat looks incredible, but actual unique clients landing on the page is maybe 1% of it. Is it normal, or am I interpreting the stats wrong?
It seems that the Facebook stats look incredible, but actually unique clients landing on the page. What's incredible?
He's basically saying that Facebook stats in the ad manager looks very inflated.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes like there are different reasons why sometimes the Facebook pixel event does not fire. Sometimes it's because of ad blockers. Sometimes it's because of cookie blockers. Sometimes it's your page is slow to load, so the person goes back. So the amount of clicks you see on the ads manager is always higher than the amount of view contents or page views that you see that is coming from the pixel. So many things to consider, mainly your page load speed, and also try to upgrade to the Facebook Conversions API to be tracking more of those page views. But know that no matter what you do, you're always going to have some drops because you have no control over cookie blockers and ad blockers and so on.
If again, if you have taken advantage of the offer that we offer today, I'll be more than happy to look into your entire setup with your Facebook ads, creatives, your landing pages. I will be checking on all of them to helping you personally on one-on-one basis. So this way, I think I'll be able to look into what exactly is wrong. Maybe there could be some event firing is wrong, or maybe post iOS update, Facebook ads just works a little differently. So maybe those changes are required. So I'll be very happy to like audit that live for you, give you live suggestions, and let's get you some customers after that, Dave. Moving on to the next question, it's from Kai. Could we still add more sub accounts after the deal, or how much would it be? Kai, definitely, like after the deal is over, you can just reach out to the support of Scalify, and they'll be more than happy to let you know like how much the sub accounts would cost you after the deal is over. Moving on to the next question, it's from Kai again. What is the vision for Scalify after 5 years? Like let's say like a 5-year long quick vision, if you have to share, what is that?
The vision of Scalify is the objective, the goal is to make advertising faster, easier, and more consistent, and namely making it easier for everyone to access advertising tools that are easy to understand and make them allow them to get good results. Basically lowering the barrier of access, the entry barrier to paid advertising, because right now it's kind of a little bit high if you're not very technical about it.
Perfect. I'll move on to the next question. It's from Rakul. He's asking, can we change the ad image of the ad creative which is currently running so as to avoid ad fatigue?
You can only do that through the ads manager, the native ads manager, and only if that's the area where you created that creative, meaning you're not reusing a creative from another place. But what I suggest is if you want to add new creatives, you first, you don't add them directly to the ad set, create a new campaign and test your new creatives first. And once you see that those new creatives actually perform well, you can then add them to your existing ad sets, because you don't want to test new creatives on an ad set that is already spending a lot, because you could once you add an ad, it's under an ad set, it's telling Facebook to give it more ad spend and to remove ad spend from the ad that was already giving you results, while you're not sure yet if the new ad is going to perform well. So you need to test the ad first outside in a separate campaign. Once you see it's performing well, take it and put it inside of your existing campaigns.
Perfect. There's a question coming in from John. So he's asking, so if I get the $299 plan and give a review, you will upgrade me to $395. Actually, it's a lot better, John. So when you buy that $299 plan and drop in a review, you get another $299 plan code for absolutely free. So that's what one-on-one offer is. Plus you get a one-on-one consultation with me directly. So just wait for that email tomorrow and we'll schedule a call with you, John. The next question is from Sagar. He's saying, I wanted to upgrade my Scalify, but I refunded and now I'm unable to add funds to my wallet. So Sagar, what you can do is, again, if you've already refunded, then just head to the sales page, add the $245 plan in your cart, and just make a checkout. You will be on the invoice page and you will see that the $97 now is available in your wallet. Just use that as a credit and just pay the difference on your invoice page and you will be all set. That's all you have to do. Next question is from Kai. Kai is asking, how do we apply the new code we have just purchased in the existing refunded account? Is you?
Yes, I'm here. I'm not sure where I'm trying to find the questions you're reading because it's not on the top of the list, right?
No, it's the middle somewhere right now. So what the guy is asking that he's got a new code, right, of the upgraded one. So he wants to apply that. How do they do that?
If it's not working for you, Kai, you can reach out to support@scalify.com. They will be faster because there are many variables that may be preventing you from doing this. For example, if you are trying to apply that coupon code to the same account, and you're getting an error, then definitely reach out to us, support@scalify.com. But what you want to try first is take your code and go to scalify.app/PitchGround and enter it with your existing email and see what happens. It should, I believe it will upgrade your account. But if it doesn't, please reach out to us and we'll fix it for you immediately.
Perfect. Swapnil is asking, is the offer applicable on $97? Yes, any plan which is $97 plus, the offer is applicable for all of them. Weiser is asking, how about the agency fee? Is there a way where we can Scalify to manage ad spend? Definitely, if you get the sub account, which starts from $245, yes, sir, then you can easily add in your budget to that sub account and you can easily manage your clients in the sub account. Sub account is already live, so you can get started and help manage your clients right away without even waiting. Moving on to the next question. Sagar is asking, do you have any AI audience and AI creative features like magics in the roadmap? That's a great question.
Yeah, we've already answered this one in the last webinar. When you create an AI audience inside of Magix, it's basically just a rule that they have decided, and they apply to the Facebook API and they create an audience for you. And it's just a regular rule. There is no AI about it. If you create a Facebook app and access the API and check that audience, you will just see exactly what they did. It's just some rules like people who visited the website and viewed this video or some kind of rule like that. And they call it AI for marketing reasons, and people buy into that, unfortunately. But there is no real AI about it, really.
Perfect. Next question is from Dheeraj. So one plan means I can connect one business manager. No, Dheeraj, you can connect unlimited business managers. So there is no limit to that. If you want to connect 10, 20, 100, 1,000, it's completely up to you. There's no limit on that. But again, if you want to manage your clients, then I would highly recommend you to get a sub account, because trust me, it can get messy to manage multiple ad accounts in the same account, especially for your clients. If it's for your own accounts, then it's completely okay. But if you're managing your clients, trust me, have a different setup. It just makes things a lot more easier. Plus, just in case if you lose a client, the sub account is still yours. You can add in and replace it with another client. So the sub account still remains with you. Moving on to the next question. Is there a way where we can control users to whom we do not want to show ads? I think this is something that we have already covered. Yes, sir. So
yes,
Paul is asking, do Scalify have or will have any AI audience finder? Because most of the time I struggle with how to find audience, even though I know the target audience. I think we've just answered this.
Yes, we did.
So it's going to be updated very soon. Akash is asking, for new business, how do you suggest to get starting with advertisement, that is traffic awareness and finally purchase? What will be the suitable strategies? Akash, we have already covered this in the previous webinar. So do watch the replay of the first webinar. We have extensively in detail covered that. So you can take your time, watch that video over and over again until things are clear. Moving on to the next one, it's from HM Suja. Do you have any plan to add some extra features like auto-generated recommendation for my next action of the campaign? I am assuming.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Suggestions are definitely coming, and as you can see, the feature that we have introduced today gives you insights on your split tests, and we are building on top of that to add some functionality that will give you the best suggestions on what to do next for performance optimization and scaling.
For the next question of Adinda, just reach out to me on Instagram, and then I'll help you out on this one. Moving on to the next question, it's from Shubh. What is the support system in Scalify? Live chat, email, or call?
We answer most of our support through email. That's where we are very, very responsive.
Perfect. Moving on to the next question from Kenny. Is there a feature to check your ads to prevent ban on your ad account?
So what was that? What was that again?
Is there any sort of like feature or any suggestions that can help people to avoid bans? Because sometimes people use creatives or add copies or write some words that Facebook absolutely hates. So for example, if you add the keyword make money online, Facebook will ban that ad right away, right? So are there any features that can help people do that?
We've been discussing this internally. It's good to have a feature like that, but you have to know that also the Facebook bots sometimes, as everyone knows, they shut down your account for no reason, and you have to appeal. And we thought that maybe if we give a suggestion system like that, that people would rely to it and they would still get shut down, and they would blame us for it because we said that it was safe. Facebook is very unpredictable when it comes to shutting down ad accounts. So we can add a feature like that, but it's really not going to be 100% accurate because of how inaccurate the Facebook bots are at shutting down the accounts.
Perfect. I'll move on to the next question. It's from for e-com. What is the recommended amount of purchases ATC before creating lookalike audience? Do you have a plan to add the feature to show notification when the pixel has enough certain data to being creating lookalike audience, or possibly even lookalike audience template?
Good question. The minimum amount of data of event fires that you need on lookalike audiences is 100. So we haven't added this feature of saying that you can now create a lookalike audience because it's not only the purchase event, for example, that is related to your lookalike audience that you want to create, but there is also the offer, the product that you want to create lookalike audiences for. Which purchase? Is it the purchase of this product or the other product, or is it all the purchase events on your store? And the Facebook API does not return data related to each individual purchase event with the content ID of the product. So that's why we haven't added this feature. But if they ever have this data on the API, we will definitely add it. It's a good thing to have, actually.
Perfect. Moving on to the next question. Is YouTube anywhere in the roadmap? Yes, I think YouTube and Google Ads are already in the roadmap, John. So I hope they should be coming out. I'm myself waiting for Google Ads specifically because trust me, like optimizing Google Ads is something like a dream, because it is very expensive when it compared to Facebook ads. So I'm personally waiting for that, John. So I think the moment it's out, I think I'll be probably the first one to announce that we'll be doing a webinar. Moving on to the next question. I'm unable to add UTM tags on Scalify. How do I get in touch with the support team?
Support@scalify.com, where you can contact us about that. I'm not sure why you're not able to add UTM tags. Maybe because you already have other UTM tags already in place, but definitely please reach out to us and we'll look into it for you.
So Anis is asking, in case of service engagement and lead magnets are important. I think we've already covered how to specifically start targeting for and how to set up a funnel for if you're running services. So if you have not watched that, once this webinar is done, do just check out on that. I think I've explained in a very brief how you can set up your funnels. Our next question is, any suggestions or recommendations for running purchase-driven campaigns for SaaS businesses like domain name and hosting businesses?
For domain name and hosting business as a SaaS. Yeah, so you need to have your tracking, you need to have your tracking set up correctly. We recommend that you use the 2 events that are for the SaaS businesses that are existing or provided by Facebook. You have the start trial event and the subscribe event. So these 2 events, you have to fire them on your website so that Facebook can track whenever someone signs up and how much they have paid, or how much the lifetime value, the average lifetime value of a customer is on your platform, in order to be able to track your return on ad spend correctly on on your ad account. Something to add, Udit?
No, I think that's pretty much it. The next question is from is there for booking call and so any lead magnet is order to get the audience on calendar. Honestly, you don't need any lead magnet if you're looking to get people on calendar. So I think you don't need that at all completely. But I think if you still want to build your email list, that's definitely something that you can do that. So again, try running split test. But if you're running services, if you want to make sales, then I think you should be running like a direct conversion driven like campaign conversion for you over here would be to get people to book calls with you. Moving on to the next question, it's from Vinay. What kind of creative works better for SaaS product, images or a video? Just run all the split testing. Just use dynamic creative where you have uploaded images and videos both. It really varies from product to product. So let's say if your product is hard to explain, then definitely video works out a lot better. But if your product is easier to explain via image itself, then you can drive traffic. But again, I would say use both of them. Moving on to the next question. It's from Kai. Is it advisable for affiliate marketers to use Scalify and paid ads for organic traffic to convert? Definitely 100%. Do not even think twice. It's a must. Yes, if you want to add something to it.
Sorry, is it advisable to for affiliate marketing to use Scalify and paid ads for organic traffic to convert? Of course, of course. If you want to scale, if you want to go hard on your affiliate offers, then paid traffic is the way to go. You cannot rely on organic or on free traffic to grow as an affiliate marketer. You always want to have your tracking correctly set, and you want to be finding the sweet spot where you can start scaling your promotions. But paid advertising is where it's at when it comes to affiliate marketing.
Perfect. I'll move on to the next question. Using A/B split testing feature in campaign settings versus use multiple ads directly within ad set. What are the pros and cons of each? What's your favorite workflow? So do you prefer like setting up an A/B split testing itself, or do you prefer like setting up different ad sets?
Let's just use multiple ads directly within the ad set. I'm not sure I understand the question, Udit.
No, so he's basically asking, so Facebook ads have got A/B split testing feature, right? But it's very limited at the moment. So do you prefer that? So, or do you prefer like setting up two ads? So let's say you want to test out genders, right? So do you want to run that A/B split testing as that split testing to test out the gender works, but, or you want to set up like ad set 1 targeting males, ad set 2 targeting females?
Yeah, I always want to go classic and separate the ad sets. Also, when it comes to creatives as well, Facebook does have a creative split testing feature, but the problem with it is you don't have control over the budget that you spend on each variation. And another problem is that it creates a lot of ads across each ad set, which makes it very hard to collect social proof on the good posts. But when you create this on Scalify, you separate the ad sets, you separate the ads. Once you start getting one ad that's performing well and that's collecting social proof, it happens across all the same ads on the other ad sets. And also the metrics are separated, and the control of the budget that's being spent is in your hands. You can spend how much you want on each ad set in order to fully test it and give it enough impressions to see its performance. Because when you leave everything to Facebook, what happens is that Facebook most of the time picks some split testing variations and gives them like 90% of the budget, and leaves the other ones that may have had some potential in the dark, and it doesn't give them the budget that they need to be tested enough. So yeah, I would always split test with different ad sets and with different ads.
So my just to add to it, what I usually do is Victor, I run that along with CBO, and I think CBO is one of the best features that Facebook has ever added. just create 2 different ad sets and let CVO decide what's the best ad set to spend into, and then start scaling up from there. Actually, you don't even have to make the decisions. Facebook will itself make the decision where it wants to spend all its money on. So moving on to the next question, will Scalify support collaborative ad matrix for ads with marketplaces like Lazada, Shopee, etc.? There's an API available for it.
I will have to look into this this API. I'm not sure I'm able to give an answer right away, but this is definitely interesting and it's something that I will look into. And if you reach out to me on Instagram, we'll be able to discuss this. I'll leave my Instagram on the chat box, and please reach out to me and let's have a little discussion around this because it seems really interesting.
Perfect, Victor. Awesome ideas from you. Rakul is asking, will LinkedIn be added? I don't think Rakul LinkedIn is near plan anyhow. Right now, I think on a very immediate basis, Google Ads is something that is going to come out first. Then I think Scalify team can probably look into running some poll to understand what could be the next potential platform. And I think that's something that is probably down the road to make a decision for. So, Yessi, do you want to add anything to it?
Because yes, definitely. LinkedIn is one of the biggest social platforms right now, and with the goal of the new Scalify, of this new version of Scalify, is making advertising easier for everyone and for all the platforms. The upcoming platform is obviously Google, but we will try to add LinkedIn as well as Twitter and Pinterest.
Perfect. Guys, if any one of you have written in the chat, and just in case if I haven't been able to follow up with you, then please just reach out to me on Instagram, DM. I'll be more than happy to answer your question and help you out, just in case if I missed out any one of them. Let's quickly take up rest of the 16 questions. It's already over time. Guys, we thank you for sticking by. We'll be announcing the winner. So we will have like less competition because some of the users left. So I think that's good for a lot of you guys because you'll be picking up a lot of those wins. Moving on to the next question. It's from Anis, please share some views on using my own agency ad account for clients, or I partner with my client's ad account for a setup fee. I think that's completely up to you, Anis. I would always recommend that you set up a separate account. Do not ever use your own account for your clients ever because you're risking your account at that point. So never do that. Plus, use Scalify sub account to manage things on a much more easier basis. Moving on to the next question is from Kai. Are there any platforms in the pipeline like LinkedIn, Pinterest? Kai, so Google Ads is on a very immediate basis. That's what are going to be coming out. Anything post that, I think the Scalify team is going to run poll to really understand what the users really want and then can make a decision accordingly. Moving on to the next question is from Sagar. I mean, I want to edit an ad copy or image once I publish ads when CTR is low.
When the CTR is low, we are going to add. Yeah, sorry.
I have a recommendation, Sagar. Never edit the ad if it's not performing. Just create a new one.
That's exactly what I was going to say, and we are working on a new way to add creatives in existing ad sets for like to help with the frequency issue and the ad fatigue. And that's something you would want to use in this case, where you would create new ad creatives that are that you want to test under your existing ad sets. But definitely not the way to go if you want to change the image of an existing ad, because the ad may not be editable as you are using an existing post. So what I recommend is creating a new ad every time you want to test something new with your ads.
Perfect. Moving on to the next question. It's from John. When will the LTD end? Is due to badge anywhere in the roadmap? Yes, it's already in the roadmap. When the LTD ends, as soon as we run out of the code, so don't wait for the LTD to get over because the codes can go off anytime. So if you need something for your business right now, just grab it. Do not wait for it. Next question, I cannot wait for Google Ads. Any updates on that? Any ETA? There's a lot of questions coming in for Google Ads.
There's no ETA right now, as we are focused on finalizing the Facebook integration using the feedback that we are receiving. And you have, I don't know if you have noticed, but we have recently published a question where we asked you what's the the first upcoming feature you want us to implement. So definitely in the upcoming months, I would say, in 2 to 3 months. For the time being, we are trying to finalize and have a complete Facebook ads solution before moving on and starting to implement Google Ads. For Google, we have already started actually working on Google Shopping feeds, and we're almost done with that feature. So we may be able to release it a bit earlier, but for YouTube ads and Google search ads and display, those will take us more time to implement.
Perfect. Let's move on to the next last few questions. It's from Victor. Can we have a custom matrix on analyze? So one of my favorite audit is to see link, click, compare to landing page view. So I like to see if the click convert into visitor, it called LPV rate. So like to have a custom metric, which basically is looking to see if we can have a custom metric.
Yeah, I understand. I understand exactly what Victor needs here, and it's actually a good thing. Having custom metrics that are calculated off of existing metrics, the rate of one metric compared to the other one, and that's actually a very good feedback. And we also this idea is also in automations, where we already have been working on custom metrics for automations, but having them on the dashboard is also a good thing. So taking note.
Perfect.
To come back to
moving on
this.
to the next question is from Oscar. Hi, I've seen some discussions in every group for changing the priority of some development Google Ads instead of completing FB ads. I would like to think that those in the public roadmap will prevail as publications have been an important piece of information of my decision to just join Scalify. Are there any plans to change that change to that roadmap?
Basically, give us your feature requests, like request your feature either on the Facebook group or on support@scalify.com, and also like just stay in the loop with the community. And the roadmap is really built by the users. It's not built by us. So if you contribute to that, you'll be able to add your own touch to the roadmap as well.
Okay, moving on to the next question. Can I add multiple primary text without creating separate ad variations?
Just like Facebook Ads Manager allows. So I believe he's talking about the split testing feature that's built inside of Facebook. And that's the feature that I talked about a few minutes ago, where the split test inside of Facebook is done at the ad level, and it like you just add texts, but it doesn't necessarily create a new ad. The problem with that, and is that it doesn't give you control over the budget that you spend on each ad text, and also for when it comes to social proof, you are not collecting social proof on each ad post. So when you want to reuse the post, you're not able, because that post has a split test already attached to it, right? So that's why we always recommend that you create two different ads using the Creative Builder.
Perfect. Moving on to the next question. This is a great question. Sagar is asking, can we show an upsell of a product ad only after 7 days of the first purchase? I mean, can we add delay time in between?
Definitely. You can use the retention rate when creating your custom audience, and you always want to target people who have purchased between 0 to 7 days. Perfect.
Next question is from Edinson. Are you planning to add Messenger bot to Scalify? I think that's coming up already.
Not the Messenger bot, Messenger ads, yes.
Yeah, sorry, Messenger ads.
Not the Messenger bot, yes. Messenger ads, yes, but Messenger bot is going to be another product. Like ManyChat is all about Messenger bot, and it's a very big, large product. So it's not going to be We may implement a simple version of a messenger bot to allow you to run ads and answer them automatically, but it's going to be a very simple version. Yeah, so messenger ads are coming. Messenger bots, we may consider that.
Perfect. Moving on to the next question is from Kai. Sorry I missed, but would there be an inbuilt ad graphical generation in future pipeline? I saw in another tool, forgot the name, which could generate quick permutations of color schemes or copywriting. I think that is with regards to probably adding GPT-3 for creating ad copies and things like those.
Yeah, there are different ways of creating those ad copies. There are also some AI text generators that have lately been released. And also for the graphical ads, we think that we may have, again, a simple solution for the graphics. So helping you creating graphics for your ads, because that's a major problem a lot of advertisers have. But it's going to be simple unless we are able to integrate with a well-established solution for that, like Canva, for example. If we can pull a good integration with Canva, that would be amazing.
Perfect. Moving on to the next question. Just a few more questions, guys. In few words, can you explain the best ways or the best metrics to check for optimization and scaling? I think conversion is the best metrics. You want to make money.
Explain the best ways or the best metrics to check. Just watch the replay of this webinar, and we talked about all the metrics that you have to keep an eye on and that you need to improve.
Perfect. I think we are down to like the last couple of questions. If we create an ad from Scalify and want to edit the ad set or placement or audience later on, is it possible, or do you suggest to create a new ad set for that?
They want to update the ad set placement or audience later on.
Yeah.
You're able to do that inside of the ads manager, of course. Yeah, that's totally doable. Do I advise you to do that? No, especially if you are already seeing good results. You don't want to touch anything that's already working. You always want to create new ad sets if an ad set is already working. But if you technically you can from the ads manager, just go on Scalify's dashboard, go to the ad or ad set that you want to edit and click go to the ads manager. It's going to take you directly to the ads manager editing interface where you can update whatever you want there.
Perfect. Moving on to the next question. Sorry, it's actually a statement. Swapnil is saying he's already become a Facebook ninja using Scalify in this webinar. Awesome, Swapnil, that was our goal. And thank you for those words. So here is the last question of the day, guys, and then we'll announce some crazy winners, giveaways, and a lot of awesome stuff. Oh, I thought, Minank, you were not alive anymore.
Not at all.
To see you.
I've been like checking market.
Okay, perfect. So Sagar is saying, can we create dynamic and carousel ads? Not talking about catalog ads.
Yeah, currently they're not available yet, but we're adding them soon to the creative builder. Definitely something we're adding soon, as well as adding different aspect ratios to support all the different placements.
Awesome, guys. So it's time for one more PitchGround t-shirt giveaway. Type in PG, and the first one to type that gets that t-shirt. We have Vivek. We have the winner already. Vivek was ultra quick to add that. Vivek, you get you're the second winner for the PitchGround t-shirt today. Guys, you can win this every time you join in a webinar. We always have these like giveaways and funds. It's always awesome, but you have to be like ultra quick. So Vivek, just contact and send me a DM on Instagram with your account, with your shipping details, which is your address, your zip code, your state, and I'll ship it to you right away today itself. So just make sure that you send me a DM with all of these details, and hopefully we'll have more PitchGround t-shirt winners in the next webinar. Minank, let's call out the other winners. So the very first one, I'll let you handle that.
Absolutely. So they might have already dropped off, but let's say I wanna announce the first winner as Caesar. Caesar, if you're in, say hi. It's DJ Caesar on Instagram. If you're here, say hi. If not, Dheeraj says that's me.
You sure?
Come on, Dheeraj. Okay, your DJ name is Caesar. I mean, I'm not sure though. What is your Instagram ID? Just confirm it right away.
Yeah, just send us a DM hi with that DJ right now, DJ account right now.
Yes, yes. Send us a hi and
Send us an hi, and we have another winner.
yes, we received the hi. Congratulations.
Perfect, Dheeraj. So you win a Scalify code. Awesome, and congratulations. All you have to do is just send us an email at support@pitchground.com. Take the screenshot and just send us an email and give us about up to 3 business days, and we'll add the Scalify code into your account. Now let's announce a second winner for the people who stayed active till the end. Guys,
You want me to announce it?
No, let's take this, right? Guys, type in the word Scalify, and this time we'll randomly pick up one winner. Oh my God, that was way too quick.
Random. It's totally random. Yeah.
Okay, let's pick one random, because this time, like, we want to make sure that more people get opportunity. Come on, man, you need to be quick.
Do I pick up? Okay.
Just go ahead and pick one winner that you.
Okay. I know I want to pick up H. The name is just H.
H, whoever you are, H, you're the winner. H, can you reply hi again? Oh, there you go. He replied. So H, you are the winner. Just make sure that
please tell me your email ID so that we can like confirm, because anyone can be.
Please send your email address, H, so that we can make sure that you are the one. Minang, can you just write it down?
Oh yeah, sure. I've written it down. Perfect.
Perfect. Okay, and the last winner, I think Yashir has already announced the winner, but
yeah, it was Sagar. Sagar had the best question.
Sagar, you're still here?
Sagar,
if you're here.
Sagar will count till 5 if you're here, or else we'll have to pick another winner. Sagar 1, Sagar 2, Sagar 3, Sagar 4, Sagar 5.
Is in the webinar.
Oh my God, Sagar is gone. You lost, Sagar. You won and you lost. Oh my God. You see, you got to pick up another winner. Sagar is not there.
Yeah, sure. I believe it was Victor who had the best questions. Victor E1.
Victor 1, Victor 2, Victor 3, Victor 4. Oh my God, Victor just 4. Victor, you almost lost it, Victor.
Oh
but you won.
God.
Awesome, Victor. You have won one Scalify code. So just send us your email and send us an email to our support as well. Just type in your email in the chat as well, so that we can make sure that the email has come from the right person, and we'll add in an extra code into your account in 3 business working days. So just type in your email address. With that, guys, I hope you found today's webinar extremely useful. Thank you so much, everyone, for sticking by. We'll have more giveaways. We'll have like more t-shirts, more awesome goodies and stuff coming up in the upcoming webinars, and even awesome books and everything. We'll be doing a lot of giveaways